On today's episode, I sit down with a world-renowned tattoo artist by the name of George Supreme Drone Papadopoulos. George has an incredible story starting in Athens, Greece, and working his way up over the years from a graffiti artist up to a world-renowned tattoo artist. His studio in Los Angeles is called Malaka Tattoos, and people from all around the world fly in to sit in his chair and get the artwork done on their body. George is incredible at what he does, has created an incredible following, and you will hear all about his story starting now. My name is George Stroumboulis, and I'm extremely passionate about traveling the world, meeting new people, and learning about new businesses. Join me as I sit down with other entrepreneurs to learn about their journeys. This episode of Invigorate Your Business starts now. Okay, we're going to start this right now.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm excited. Reached out to you a while ago. I've been following you for a while, and it's always cool to see people in different arenas doing amazing stuff. And you and the whole artistic tattoo world crushing it, right? Global influence. But we're going to start off. I'm going to read an intro to introduce you and who you are. You're going to tell me if we polish it, and then we'll jump into this, okay? Okay, so this is rolling. Yeah, we're good. So today's guest is someone who represents pure creativity, discipline, and artistic courage. George Papadopoulos, better known as Drone or Supreme Drone, is a world-class tattoo artist and mixed media creator whose work pushes boundaries and turns skin into living, breathing artwork. Born in Greece and now based in Los Angeles, he's built a reputation for a style that's unmistakably his. Bold, graphic, abstract, experimental, and emotionally charged. From mixed media visual art to his role at Malaka Tattoo, Drone has curved his own lane, and people all over the world travel specifically to sit in his chair. What I respect about him is that he doesn't just tattoo, he storytells. Every piece he creates carries energy, intention, and authenticity. And in an industry full of imitators, this guy is the definition of original. I'm excited to learn more about his journey, his creative process, and how he turned his artistic vision into a global following. Drone, welcome to the show, brother.
Wow. Thank you for having me.
I appreciate it.
Thank you for the kind words, man.
I appreciate it, man. It's
well said. You've studied me, I see, you know.
I gotta study. But again, I'm not a tattoo guy, meaning I don't have tattoos, but I appreciate what goes into it.
You don't even have one?
I have one little one here.
Okay.
That was an emotional one that I got after a cousin had passed away. And I'm like, how do I honor him? And I just created this little initial design. And I was living in New York City at the time and just Googled where to go 18 years ago.
Wow.
And I just went, they cranked it out. And then for the last 18 years, I'm like, I want to get more tattoos. I just don't know what I'm passionate enough about. And then now that I have kids, I'm like, I would like to do something. But again, not about me. At some point, I'm going to...
So you did it after a life-changing event or some loss, some big emotional state. So many people don't realize it, but in tattooing, the biggest part of, our work many times, like a majority of our work, is when that, occurs. When big events in our life or big changes, a loss, a promotion, something, something like changes and you change a chapter in your life and you want to express that and, you basically mark your skin for life. Something that's the only thing you're going to take to your grave, basically.
That's it.
So it's not, it's really common for people to get even their first tattoo when they get 18, when they get a promotion, when they achieve a dream, when they have a loss of a pet or of someone that they love. So, yeah. It's
always something. So that's interesting. And then do you find once someone gets their first tattoo, you always hear that you get addicted to it, you want more. Is that the case?
I'm doing a first tattoo on someone in 2 days from now. He contacted me. He called the studio to give you like an idea of sometimes how it works. He called maybe 6-7 studios, he told me. And when he spoke with me, I didn't just throw a number at him because he was like, oh, I want this from this band on my arm. How much? And I was like, no, let's talk about it. You're 18. I want to guide you and I want to see, if that's what, you should really go towards the direction you should get. So it's his first tattoo and I want to make him feel comfortable, obviously,
Wow.
because he don't know. He's just calling studios, he's doing his research. He kind of needs guidance and someone to tell him how things work, educate him on the subject too, and not just get it. You get addicted, probably, for sure, because tattoos, they are amazing. They are something that usually people do get to express themselves. And many times we can express ourselves through arts, even if that's verbal, like a poem, a song. That's why many people love music and they get lost in music. And, they are like really into music or arts. And if it speaks to them, they take part in it. That's how tattoos work as
That's
well.
how it is.
So this guy, he came, he asked me, and out of the 7 studios he called me again after a few hours and he was like, I choose you.
And was that decision based on price alone, or?
No, I didn't give him a price because he was unsure of what he wants to get really at the end of the day. But he didn't know he was unsure until I actually spoke with him. Because the only thing he knew is, let me call a few studios and ask how much it's going to cost. And when I talked to him and I threw the ball at his side, like the ball was in his court, basically.
Yes.
Because I asked him some questions to kind of get an idea of why we're doing this, not only what we're going to do, but why we're doing it. And, he appreciated it. And many people do. Some others might not like it and might be like, just give me a price, man.
Right.
And that's really not when you get your first tattoo. Because when you get your first tattoo, it's a big moment. It's like something that you've never done before. You're usually, maybe thinking of it for 20 years. I have people that I tattoo in their 50s and they tell me I wanted to get a tattoo for 30 years now. And my parents didn't allow me to get it. Because I come from a religious or a conservative family, etc. So for him, he just called me back and he was like, I am coming to the studio. Let's speak about it in person. I like that you just didn't throw me a number at me and just, rush it because I'm just another tattoo, basically. And he saw my page. He saw I do big projects.
Yes.
And my studio does too. Like my other 9-10 artists who have at the studio, we all focus on big tattoos. So many of these people think, oh, okay, like they might not even do these small tattoos. They might not be interested in doing them, or they will just rush me or, not pay the attention that it demands, really, because it's just a small, cheap tattoo. But, we have to treat everyone the same.
Absolutely. But so like this guy, this is a great story. This example now, what did he end up getting? Was it a physically large tattoo?
We're tattooing him in 2 days. And he's just going to get a small tattoo on his arm from one of his favorite bands, which is Weir. I think it's WOHIRR. It's just a spiral. But he came to the studio, I took a photo of his arm, I put it on Photoshop, I showed him exactly how it's going to look on him, so he can get a good idea of what it's going to look like.
Yep.
Because he don't know, that made him feel comfortable. And even if he went to 2 other studios in the area to get an idea, they didn't sit down for 5-10 minutes, pay the attention, because it's just a cheap walk-in tattoo. So, why would I do that? Well, in times like now that like our industry is oversaturated, it's like the competition is huge. You kind of have to pay more attention and take care of your clients as good as you can. So I did that with him and he appreciated it and he came. And he brought a friend of his.
There you go.
So I might tattoo his friend too.
Yes.
And then, who knows? It's word of mouth.
It starts with this and then maybe he wants something else. And
Yeah. But we already discussed about his next one because he was like, that's my first one. I want this as my first experience. And then I want the cover of Hybrid Theory, a Linkin Park's album, which I've done before. It's like a big angel with like a spear and all that. So
there's no, let's rewind a bit, right? You're known around the world. You literally have clients that fly in from Asia, across the States. You're known around the world. Obviously, we're going to put up all your handles and everything, but the brand you've created, where did you start like this artistic? You have a graffiti background experience.
I do.
Okay.
My artistic experience started when I was a young boy. I started drawing, painting, experimenting with collage, paper collage, and when I was around 12 or 13 years old, I started doing graffiti. I started writing my name on the walls in my neighborhood in Athens. I changed my nickname and then I changed it again. I ended up with Drone when I was 13 or 14. And since then, that's my street name.
Where did Drone come from?
Where Drone came from? Because in graffiti, you just need to do something that looks good and the letters matter. I wrote down the English alphabet and I circled my favorite letters to draw or do on the wall. So that was my 5 favorite letters. I mean, it was 6. S was also one of my favorite ones, but it just didn't make a word. So DR1, which was basically drone, it was just my 13-year-old smart idea of saying I'm Daphne Representer 1. Like, it's my area. So
you're Daphne Representer 1.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I'm from Daphne, Brahami, with Sayus Dimitrios, Nea Smyrni, and Neo Cosmo. So it was just, but Daphne was my primary area. And I was like, okay, let me do DR1. 1 is just an ending extension of your name, usually if you are the first of your name in graffiti.
Okay.
Like KRS-One, who is a famous rapper.
Yes.
Or, like all these ones out there, they're usually graffiti, right?
Really? Was KS1?
KRS-One is basically his graffiti tag, or everyone who is one, you should know. It's just usually graffiti
tag.
Yeah.
But you did that, you picked that in the end. It has nothing to do with a flying drone, like no connection to that.
I didn't know drones existed in 2005, Nobody knew drones 2005.
Exactly.
I looked it up, what it means. And I think I read that back in 2005 that it means highway noise from your car, like the drone that the cars do, or some noise of an airplane. Like drones in 2005, I think I remember Googling it. Back then we had little cards, 56 kilo BPS, that we didn't have Wi-Fi and all that. You would have to go to the kiosk, buy a card, make some coffee and wait for one MP3 song of Eminem to download.
Yes, exactly.
For 3 hours.
Right.
So we didn't really do that, Google things and downloading images. We didn't do that. So, and from social media, there was Joy, GR, and High Five. No, not even MySpace.
Right.
So the only drones that existed were some military $500,000 drones. Who cares? Nobody around me or I didn't know. Obviously drones became commercial afterwards and famous, and they destroyed my name.
And then they destroyed, But
this is me now, my mom, my late grandma, everyone calls me Drone, so I can't change my name. This is my street name. So.
Even in Greece, when you go back, they call you Drone.
Yeah, I am Drone.
Right. Yeah. And then for one point you were Supreme Drone, or you go by Supreme Drone as well?
Yeah. This came after. If you want, I can stick to how with the art.
Yes.
Supreme, we'll get into it in a bit. I started graffiti. I realized that I don't like to do my name on the walls. So I started writing random words on the walls, such as alcohol or different words that I was expressing myself, and even doing big pieces and all that.
All over Athens?
Athens, yeah.
Okay.
I was not huge as a graffiti writer, because graffiti is expensive, To make a piece, you might need 20, 30 euro. For a 13, 14, 15-year-old boy, I was working since I was 13, but I didn't spend all my money on spray cans. I did spend enough.
Yeah.
Because I was not robbing the spray cans like many graffiti writers did in the past, But I realized I hate writing my name. It's too selfish, and it's just off. I don't know. It felt like, okay, I'm writing my name right now. I don't like it. Let me just draw something. So I was going to walls in legal spots like Polytechnopoly and other places that it's basically asylums. Police don't come in there. You can't get arrested. It's a graffiti-free zone. Not graffiti-free zone, I'm sorry. Graffiti legal zone.
Yep.
So you just go there, you get your souvlaki or your pizza, you sit down and you can draw for 5 hours if you want.
And where's this? Just random buildings, like shut down buildings? Or?
For example, I was going a lot to Polytechnopoly. Polytechnopoly, it's basically a university little city in the center of Athens. Or, places that are legal. The legal spots, as we call them.
Gotcha.
And I would sit down and I would draw characters or drawings, and then it's when it hit me. I realized I'm not as good of an artist as I thought. I was good at writing letters because since I was a young boy, I was doing it on my books, black books, drawing. But when it comes to drawing, painting, characters, you need to get some maybe study, illustrative, lessons. It's technically illustrative and academic drawing that comes into play. So I was 15 or 16, and I realized I need help. Like I need to actually stop applying what I know and first learn how to do what's going on. At this point I did my research for drawing lessons. And I found some fine arts preparation, academic drawing, private schools
In Athens, okay.
In Athens,
but
yeah.
at 16, you realized, hey, I need to get better because you wanted a career in this?
I realized I sucked, and I was like, I want to get better. This is I am embarrassed of doing these characters. Like, this is not. Of course, I was looking up to people that were the best in the industry. And that was not healthy. It's not healthy for a kid to look at the legendary status, amazing artists and take it as I took it. Like, I was depressed. I was like, damn, will I ever do this in my life? But I was looking at people that did it for 10, 15 years.
Right.
And it was just an unfair comparison, you know?
Yeah, so far off. You're just starting.
Yeah. It's like I'm comparing apples to oranges. I just started. I'm a baby. I had to give myself some time and, you know, allow myself to compare me to others in a more healthy way.
Right.
I was not, but I was also a kid. I didn't have a mentor or a guide or, you know, someone. So I was looking at some of the best graffiti writers in the world, basically street artists like McLean in Germany, some guys that did murals, realistic, hyper-realistic murals. They worked with Carhartt, big companies. And I was like, damn, look at them and look at me, you know? And it was basically my first pieces, so unfair comparison.
Unfair.
But I was devastated. I was like, dude, quit. Because I either do something 100% or I don't do it.
Right.
So I was like, no, let's try to actually get better.
Were your parents supporting you to want to get better?
Oh, hell no.
No, of course. Like what?
Hell no. My parents, man, I've been arrested probably more than 80, 90 times.
That's it?
For graffiti.
Are you serious?
Yeah. And I wasn't even running, you know, like most graffiti writers, you know, they do something illegal and they run. Yeah. I wasn't running after some point that I didn't do my name and I was drawing and I had €200 worth of spray cans to fix a big wall that was full of vandalism, football team tags, and I was about to do a nice big drawing. I was not about to run. Like, cops came, I supported it. I was like, look, this is what I'm going to do, and I want to do it. And you want to arrest me for that? Like, I don't want to run from what I believe in. You know what I mean?
And what, even...
Which was stupid, basically.
But they would still arrest you after that?
Of course, I was getting arrested the whole time. Or I was bad at running and all that. I was like...
But not to lose sight of, like, your path, but what does being arrested look like in Athens for graffiti?
It's not a big deal. Like, it's not like USA. It's not a felony. My record is clean, you know. Yeah. Being arrested was technically... Even the cops didn't like this because there is paper involved. You know, they have to write it down. If anyone sues afterwards from the building owners, no one ever sued because they saw him, not like some ghetto vandal that wanted to destroy their property. I was basically trying to do good. I was going only to walls that were messed up by Olympiacos, Panathinaikos, football, racist things, everyone battling on the wall with their beliefs and politics. Yeah. And nobody really sued me, but when they arrest you, they take you to the police station, you get into a little cell, which is miserable and dirty. Yeah. And sometimes if it's Friday night or Saturday, you have to stay there until Monday. And they write you down, they record you, and then if you're a minor like I was, they have to call your parents.
Oh, jeez.
Somebody has to come pick you up.
Yeah.
So, you know, as every reasonable, you know, parent would feel, they felt like, you know, I was... just a mess and a parasite to society.
Right.
And they were giving me shit for doing it.
After 40, 50, 70, 80 times.
Yeah. It was, it was not good.
You're fixing your skill at this point, right? So you're practicing, you're getting better.
Yeah. At some point, I literally stopped because I knew I have to put so much work into studying arts and fine art, academic drawing. And slowly I saw I was more invested in actually painting and drawing than going to a wall because the wall needs 50 to 150 euro.
Jeez.
Which in Greece back then was a week of work for me. You know, I was getting paid €2 an hour when I worked. So €2 an hour.
That's a lot, yeah.
Yeah, like at that point I was working 14-hour night shifts, 5 p.m. to 7 a.m. as a waiter or a busboy or whatever, and I was getting paid €25.
Yeah, and for the listeners, so even today in Athens, in Greece, the average monthly income in Greece is about €750, 800
That's
euros.
the minimum, not the average, but it's really low.
Up to maybe €1,000 a month is where...
the average is probably 1,000 to 1,100.
Yeah. So imagine working a week to get enough to buy spray cans.
Yeah. No, and at the end of the day, you know, I did it, but maybe once a week, once every 10 days, once every 2 weeks. And it's not only, it was the money involved. Definitely. Money was the number one factor. Yeah. Because otherwise I would paint every day. I knew kids from Voria Proastia of Athens, that was like more high-end, areas that they would paint every day, and they were 15, 16 years old. And I was like, how do you find 1,000, 1,500 euro a month at 15 years old and you're not even working?
Yeah.
I'm working my ass off. I can't afford to paint 1/10 of you, you know.
That's crazy.
But that's when, like the parents or your financial status is involved. But I drew a lot, and I was in high school. Liceo is high school. Senior high school. How you call Liceo?
Junior high.
The last 2-3 years of my high school, I was only going with a black book. A black book is usually just a sketchbook a graffiti writers carry. I was going just with that in my school, and an MP3 or a Walkman. And I didn't carry even my books, so I was a bad student. And my teachers that knew I am a smart kid, I'm good with math or geometry and science and this, they were like, we don't want to do this, but we will catch you for this year. You are going to stay here. School is not ending for you this year. When I was on 3rd grade of Liceo, which is the last basically step to never see school again and leave it behind. They did a meeting about me and another kid, and they told both of us, you're not going to pass. You're staying here next year, except if you, George, go and register for Fine Arts University, because we had to, it's like Panellinias, that people give exams to enter a college or a university. And to the other kid, they said that about music, because he was into music. He was literally all day just...
That was his passion.
We would both go, we were last desks, τελευταία θρανία στην τάξη, and we were both sleeping. We were going to school to sleep, basically, because we were up all night.
What were your parents saying at this point?
Oh, they gave up. After some time, my parents gave up. I was a menace to society, so, and I was independent too a lot because I was working. So I didn't ask from them for much. And I come from a poor background, not poverty, but we didn't have much. So, I had to start working when I was 13. And if I wanted to provide for myself a new PC, some, my cigarettes, or back then my ganja, and things that we had to, we needed as teenagers, so...
All on you,
Yeah, I never had maybe I had €5 every couple months. That's nothing, it's but no allowance, like normal kids sometimes get, or, dreams for a college tuition and whatever. That's not in the book. So they basically had this meeting, and they told us, if you don't actually try to pursue your dreams, you're staying here. And not only next year, if you do the same shit next year, you're going to stay the year after. And you're never going to leave the school. Otherwise, just go out in society and be embarrassed by not even finishing Liceo. So I had already done the work. I had already prepared for fine arts by going 2-3 years to that school of fine arts, academic drawing, and preparation for the Fine Arts University. And I was like, here goes nothing. It's for free. You don't go and you fill some papers and exams. You're basically going to the fine art school, and you have some statues. Sculptures, usually ancient Greek sculptures, and you're technically some thousands of people. I think the year that I gave the first year I didn't pass. The second year I passed.
To get into the school.
The school, yeah. Many times people they enter for 20 years and they don't pass. It's really difficult.
Oh, wow.
Because the acceptance rate is lower than Harvard. So usually every year around 80 people pass to 90 or so, and the participants are over 7,000-8,000, I think.
Jeez.
So it's really low.
2-year, 3-year program, or it's...
That's for Fine Arts University. Fine Arts University, it's like college. It's like 4 to 5 years.
Gotcha.
Many people take 10, but
right.
That's, the standard. And but I did it, so I passed Liceo. They were like, you're how they called it, kameno harti. In Greek, it's like you're
a lost cause.
Yeah, you're a lost cause. Yeah. So we don't want you here anymore, like in the school anyway. So here, you graduate. go. Good luck with life. Because what are you going to do with your life? You're not a good student. You're not obeying. You're a menace. So,
but did you like that reaction from them, or inside of you was it
I understood it, I wasn't dumb. I was just,
But did that fuel you? Like, I'm going to show you, or did you not have motivation?
Obviously, I don't think it's only me, but everyone who has been judged or not accepted by their community or parents or like school, teachers, their circle for what they do, and it has has to do with arts, I think it goes two ways. Either you're gonna get, depressed and shut down and not do nothing and just stay, static. How is it called?
Or tragedy happens and stuff like that.
You're just gonna shut down and quit. Yeah. You're gonna quit and give up. Or the other way is you're gonna just fully invest yourself and go, full throttle on it, which I did. I passed to the university. I went to Thessaloniki and I stayed there for almost a year, and then we had the big boom, the economic crisis. I think 2008 it happened, but in Greece, it didn't directly affect us 2008. It did affect us 2008, but then 9 and 10 were the worst years than 8. Because
all the measures that came in.
Yeah, because it's like, 2008, it happened, but then the results and how the society was affected the next couple of years, that's when it hit everyone. And it was already bad.
Yes.
And it became worse in Greece. So me and maybe 40 or 50% of my university dropped out. So basically, 40 or 50% of the school, of the college, dropped out.
Why? Because they weren't making enough money to stay in there? Is that why?
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to survival, you're not thinking, let me study and go to college half my day. You're thinking, let me hustle and pay my bills and try my best. And so most people that were in fine arts, that they were not being supported by their parents, or they didn't have savings, which was many of us, we dropped out. And, I was one of the first that I was like, okay, I cannot stay here. I was going 6 hours in the morning to school for nude figure drawing models, and then I was going for 14 hours night shift to a bar to be a busboy and a waiter to support myself. So I stayed there for almost a year, and I went back to my mom, Athens, after a year, and I was looking like a zombie because I was sleeping 3 hours a night or 4 hours a night, and all day was either school and drawing and hustling at the school, and then hard work for 25 euro a day.
Jeez.
So I was like, I love it, but I can't do it. Mm-hmm. And same with many other people that they didn't do what I did. They were basically at school and their parents couldn't support them anymore. And a few of us, we were doing this full-time school and work, because otherwise it's impossible. How am I going to pay my rent in another city? Art supplies, the Greek government don't really fund these things. You have to provide it for yourself. Oil painting, painting colors, all that is expensive. So we dropped out, and I already had bought my tattoo machines, and I already knew I wanted to be a tattoo artist.
So you knew that in the school, you knew, hey, I'm doing this to become a tattoo artist.
I was 15 when I decided, what can I do with arts and graffiti or whatever I've done so far, which was not a big investment. It was maybe 2-3 years, but it's important 2-3 years if you start 12 to 15,
Of course.
So I thought, I don't want to cut my beard, and I don't want to dress the way people want me to dress because they want me in their luxury restaurant, and I don't want to boss over my head. I want to be expressive and artistic. And how can I do this and actually make some good money? The only avenue was tattooing, honestly, there is no other job for a menace to society like I was.
Right.
To do something that, if you want to make money, you have to go to college. Right. You have to study something. If you don't have the connections or the parents, the circle, to do that.
Especially in Greece, where it's very cliquey.
Especially in Greece, yeah. So I thought tattooing is the way. And that was already before I entered fine art school. That was when I was starting the drawing, and that was kind of my master plan when I started drawing and doing academic drawing preparation and all that. By the way, I told you I'm going to speak Greek. I don't speak Greek.
You don't speak.
But it's okay.
No, this is better.
I'm just trying to make your life easier, because I know the subtitles are going to be...
It's for the editors, but the reach is better in English.
Yeah.
So hold on. When did you get your first tattoo?
I got my first tattoo when I was 15 or 16.
So around that time, okay, so you get the machine, you're studying, today you're known around the world. Half your life ago, you're in your early 30s right now. Yeah. You're like, this is what I want to do. For someone who said at 15 you were garbage or you weren't great and you needed to work on that, to doing, and we're going to put so much B-roll during this episode of what you create on people's skin. Mm-hmm. How do you go in 15 years from learning to this? And people trusting you with large real estate on the body. It's not like, hey, put a little heart here or something. We're talking sleeves, backs of it almost looks 3D.
Thank you, yeah.
Organized chaos is what you call it, right?
Yeah, I can't call it mixed media because I would lie to myself, because the media is one, it's ink. But I love mixed media. And
Yes.
mixing techniques like that, like I would mix on a canvas, a painting of different techniques and materials. In tattooing, you can only do it with ink. I cannot like put a nail on you and throw some wood and stick some paper and do collage.
Right.
But organized chaos, that's another story. We're going to speak about that term in a bit.
Yes.
Because I am ADHD, I'm going to get lost,
Yeah, no. Stick to this.
Yes. I am. So I left the school. I already knew I would tattoo. I already knew I want to get into tattooing, and I already had bought my tattoo machines. I think it was $30 or $40, something like that. My best friend that was making fun of me bought them from a Chinese website for me. And he told me, if you ever make money from this, if you make like €1,000, I think he told me. That's how much my best friend, my biggest supporter, didn't believe in me. And he thought, dude, you're smart. Get into something else and leave tattooing. This is not for you,
But he still bought you the machines, even though he didn't believe
the machines because he was like, here, so you don't have an excuse. And he was like, if you ever tattoo $1,000, €1,000 in general from tattooing.
Just life,
Yeah, I'm gonna give you my toe to tattoo,
Wow.
So, but he's a very conservative guy, and he would never get a tattoo. Afterwards, he got some tattoos, but that's another story. Yeah. Not from me though. He still owes me his toe, but that's how much even my best friend didn't believe in me,
Jeez.
So because it was crazy, it's crazy to think that, oh yeah, I'm just gonna tattoo people for a living, especially 2000. What was it? It was 2007. When I decided 2008, was 15, 16, and I got my machine 2009, I think.
But
17 years old.
Did you want to, in 2009, did you want to tattoo in Greece, or did you say, hey, let me do this, I need to go international?
Man, I never thought of that.
You didn't think that? This is for the Greek market?
No market. That was like so impulsively thinking of just freestyling it, I didn't know what would happen. I really thought I'm just a failure, and I'm just gonna be doing graffiti, I don't know, smoke weed and be a failure in general. Because when you have all your circle, friends, parents, family, everyone around you, just telling you that this is wrong, this is not gonna work out, you should go find a job, you should not be crazy enough to think that you can make money from this thing. And it's crazy to actually believe in yourself and that thing and continue it.
Do you think you'd be as successful today if people supported you more along the way?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't.
No, because I think that fueled me. Because I'm stubborn, and the more I hear no, a lot of times I do it, so.
Yeah.
And that's not only with me, that's with many people I know. So, at the end of the day, I didn't care much about what other people think, because I am doing me. And if I believe in it and I see, the vision, I'm just going to do it.
Yes.
So 15 years old already, I had gone around tattoo studios, 15 or 16, 2007 or 8. I went around tattoo studios in my area and I was asking them, hey, do you take apprentices? And they would look at me and they were like, man, you're a kid. What do you mean? Do you even go, do you still go to school, right? And I was like, yeah. They were like, no, finish school. What do you mean? Go finish your school and then we discuss, Until then, good luck. And one guy only in my neighborhood just told me, I was like, hey, listen, I already know what you're going to say. You don't take apprentices, right? He was like, not you.
Right.
And I was like, okay, what's your advice to me? Right now, because I know I already got this answer from different people. And he was like, well, just go to the international press in Omonia, in the center of Athens, and buy German and American tattoo magazines. And I was like, really? Should I just go buy magazines? And he was like, yeah, because through the magazines, you're going to learn tattoo styles, reputable tattoo artists. You're going to see the world. You're going to see if you actually like what you see and get information. So, man, I started collecting magazines. And by the time I started tattooing, I had 200 magazines.
Jeez.
I was spending all my money to magazines. And then I started buying fine art magazines and all that. So I started tattooing when I went back to Athens from Thessaloniki. I did my first tattoos basically in Thessaloniki while I was in fine arts.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, 2010. And to some of my best friends. The very first tattoo I did was the busboy, other waiter of mine in the same nightclub we were working together.
What did you tattoo on him?
he wouldn't trust me. So I knew I have my machines back home for a year already or 2. And I was like, Theo, you want to get a tattoo? Beers are on me. Weed is on me. I'll give you $10 for your ride. Come to my house. So I basically gave him $10. I gave him weed and beers.
It's a good
so
deal.
he can come to my house and get a free tattoo. That's how desperate I was. Because nobody would give me skin. I was like, just bring it on. You know you're going to pay €100 for this tattoo, which now would be 200 or so.
Right.
And he was like, man, it's a good deal. Let me do it. And I was like, I told him, it might not come out well. I don't know what I'm doing, man. I knew already that I'm doing everything wrong.
Yep.
I put the stencil with water. I didn't know there is a special cream. I put my needle upside down. I didn't know nothing.
Did you show him that you didn't know it, or were you just faking
I told him, I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm giving you weed, beers, and some money so you can come.
That's a good friend.
Yeah.
That's a good friend.
And he was like, man, let's do it. What can go wrong? I mean, the tattoo went wrong, but...
What did he want?
Man, the thing is, that was my mistake, I think. Okay, the very first tattoo I did was a full rib cage of calligraphy Greek letters, and it wrote "Αν αγαπάς αληθινά." That's how traumatic it was to me. I still remember it, and I don't listen to this music. Αν αγαπάς αληθινά, παίρνεις τα όρητα βουνά και τραγουδάς τον ερωτά σου στη σελήνη. So it's basically in English means if you really love, you take your love to the mountains and you sing it to the moon or whatever.
Yeah.
From Stelios Rokos, I think.
Yeah.
Or someone in Greece, like something.
Very kapsuriko, eh?
Very kapsuriko. Yeah. And I was like, okay, I put a stencil, and I didn't know that when you have a tattoo like this, you kind of have to start from the end. So you can tattoo and not lose the stencil. I started from the very first letter. And while I was doing it, I was rubbing the whole stencil on him. And by the time I finished the A, and all my friends were like, that's a big moment. Drone is finally tattooing, you know.
Oh, jeez.
I do the first letter and it's perfect. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I made it. Like, let's go. We're getting rich. Like, I start the first letter, I wipe, and the whole stencil is gone. And we're all looking at each other and we're like, oh no, what we're gonna do now? And I took a Sharpie and I started freehanding calligraphy, curvy, like cursive letters in Greek in his whole rib cage.
Oh, Jesus.
I made it. Okay, I did it, but I kept continuing from the first letters and I kept rubbing the stencil and the Sharpie. It was horrible. It took me like 7 hours.
Oh my God.
It's a tattoo I would do now in 10 minutes probably, or 20.
Right.
It took me 7 hours. And the letters they are still solid. I've seen them 2, 3, 4 years ago.
Okay.
But their letters are dancing. It's not cohesive. It's bad.
What did he say when you were done it? Was he?
He loved it, man. What do you mean? He loved it. Now imagine we're like poor guys in the, like, not hood, but you know, in a poor area. Yeah. We're just doing a tattoo. He already knows it's my first one. And what he got for what he paid, nothing.
Yeah.
He basically got free beers, weed, and money.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
And a lifetime of memories.
Yeah. It was a good deal.
That's incredible, though.
And then I did the day after, literally. My best friends, they are Ilias and Tassos that we were studying in the Fine Arts University, or the day after.
Did you know to turn the needle the next day?
Man, I didn't know shit. But it was smaller tattoos and it was easier.
Okay.
Even if my friend passed like out before we even start. Tasso, dude. And but yeah, we did some memorial date of their uncles passing, and then people kept coming back, and I did like, I don't know, 10 tattoos in a few days, and that's when I had to come back to Greece. But I already was confident because at some point I did my 4th, 5th tattoo, and it was a tribal scorpion like that on someone's back.
Come on.
So I was getting comfortable, even if the work was not good. But for what they were getting, one of my first tattoos, it was amazing. Yeah. So I went back to Athens and I started tattooing people.
In random, like out of your own house, apartment?
Yeah, a few in my house, but it was like $10. Give me $10 for the supplies, or 20. Let me make some portfolio, you know. And now we're speaking 2011.
Social media now, like, are you promoting this on? How are you getting your name out there at this point?
Back then, there was, I think there was barely MySpace. It was probably MySpace.
Yeah.
And because before MySpace we had High Five. It's another social media thing we had in Greece.
Yeah, we never had that over here, or wasn't big over here. Yeah, okay.
But High Five, no, that was the emo era, 2007, like 8. It was MySpace, there was no Instagram, I doubt there was Facebook.
Right.
And then I did a few tattoos. I had to support myself, so I started working again, waiter, different jobs.
Yep.
I've done all kinds of jobs.
Back in Athens now, jumping around.
Athens, yeah. But because I was not in a studio and I didn't want to get any legal trouble, I didn't want to be tattooing at my house. People already knew who I am, what I do from graffiti or, the scene. So I started looking around for tattoo studios. And I basically contacted my favorite one, which I'm not going to say the name now, but he was the best black and gray artist in Greece.
He's still working now?
He's still working now, yes. And I was like, I have to work with this guy because I am good at drawing, academic drawing and all that. He has the technical part down. He's one of the best, maybe in the world at this point. I need to go and be with him.
Just to learn from him.
Yeah, to learn, to be around this. And I called them. I think it was 9 p.m. on a Tuesday night, I don't know. And I called them and his wife answers and she tells me, we are not interested. We're not hiring. And I was like, it's okay. I just want to come by. I want to show you my portfolio. And if you don't like it, it's cool. Like, I just want to come there first before I do my research. And, and she was like, no, maybe don't come. And she spoke with him and he was like, yeah, hell no. Don't tell him to come over. We don't want to do that. He didn't want apprentices. He didn't want anyone new in the studio. And I was like, I tell her real quick, okay, well, I'm coming bye. And I just took my bike and I went.
That night, same night?
Yeah. 10 minutes, 15 minutes later, I was there. And I just showed up and they were like, but we told you don't come. It's okay. I was like, I'm here.
Good.
So let me show you. And they expected me to go with a little binder, show them some little tattoo drawings or whatever. But I went with my big binder from the university. And I had sculptures. I had the charcoal academic drawing things. And I go inside the booth that he was tattooing and he tells me, wow, you came. Okay, whatever. Show me what you have. And I was like, here? He goes, yeah, here. It's not enough. And I was like, the studio was small. Maybe...
And he's giving you attitude at this point.
Yeah, of course. He's very snobby. Yeah. And bear in mind, ex-drug dealer, ex-convict, tough guy.
Yep. And
I'm a kid and I need him. He don't need me.
Right.
So I was like, the studio is small, maybe 400 square foot or something, 300 square foot room. And I was like, okay, it might be enough. And I start taking out like, I don't know, 40 by 25 by 30 inches, big drawings. And I fill the whole studio with drawings and sculptures. And he just, while he's tattooing, he turns around and he see the whole like ground of his studio. Yeah. And he's like, that's yours? And I'm like, yeah. He goes like, how old are you? And I think, what was it? 2012. I was like, I'm 20. And he stops tattooing. That's when he kind of realized, like, this guy's for real,
And he's got the balls to come down here after he said don't come.
Yeah. He looks like he actually can walk the talk.
Yes.
Because he saw me, I was arrogant, 20 years old. I thought I have everything figured out.
Are you tatted up at this point at 20?
No. I just had some small shit on me. I didn't know what I was doing. And he looks at it and he's like, have you tattooed before? And I go, yeah, I have done some, like, I had done, I don't know, few tattoos, 10 tattoos, I don't know what. Until then to my friends. And he takes off his gloves and he starts speaking with me to see if I have a brain cell.
While the client's still in his chair.
Yeah. But he realized that, okay, this guy is like, I haven't seen that before. Usually people come and they're like, they're not confident. They show me something. They haven't put the work. I had put the work. I already had hundreds, if not thousands of hours of drawing and study and all that. So he took me seriously and I showed him my tattoos and by then it was all line work. And he goes, well, you can't shade, right? Like I can't do shadows. And I was like, no, I can. I haven't done it yet. How can you say I can't shade? Here's all these realistic sculptures I've drew. And he was like, well, until you show me and you prove it to me, you can't. And I was like, okay, I'm going to do one with shadows. And he goes, okay, do it and then we can speak again. And I was like, okay, what do you want me to do? He goes, do a rose. And yeah, it's this. And I was like, okay, a rose like black and gray? Sure, yeah, okay. but do it with some like proper lines. Don't slacken the lines, you know. I want to see your line work too. And I was like, okay, sure. And that night, I basically told him I don't have a machine for shading. I just had a Chinese machine for lines. And he see me, he's like, okay, take this one. And he gives me a rotary of 300 euro worth. He didn't even know me, but he knew I need him. And he saw that I am gonna be in that world.
Yes.
So I can't fuck up and just steal the machine at this point.
Right.
Like he trusted me with the machine even if he just barely met me. But it was, you know, he gave me a machine and he was like, here, take this. And I go home. He didn't expect me I would do it. I think he just thought I'm gonna do it weeks after or whatever. Yeah. But I went home, I set up my machines and my, you know, station in my bedroom and I did it on me.
That night?
Yeah, that night. Like half an hour later, I was doing a rose on my leg.
And you just used your own self as the guinea pig to test this out?
Yeah, of course.
Get out of here.
You want me to show it?
Yeah, show that on, you know what? And I'm gonna get that too. We're gonna get it up there.
That's it.
So that's the first time the guy sent you home.
Yeah, that's...
So by standards now...
40 years now. It's still here, you know. And I've never retouched it. Man, I'm very happy.
And was he happy? Like, did you go back?
I went back the day after, like early in the morning. I went there with coffee and he was like, damn, you're back. And I was like, yeah, I'm back. He goes, why are you back? And I go to show you my rose. And he looks at me, he's like, you did it? I was like, yeah, where, on whom? And I'm like, on me. He goes, you did the rose on you. I was like, yeah, who else? I didn't have anyone yesterday night. He goes, let me see. And I take off my sock and I show him. He sees it. He looks at me. He goes, who helped you? And, you know, I tell him, man, nobody helped me. I don't know anybody in this industry. You know what I mean? Like, I told you, I don't even have machines. I just did it. And he goes, yeah, I don't know. He's like, he don't believe me at this point. And I saw him a video of me tattooing it because I had put my little, I don't know what I had, Sony Ericsson, like half megapixel camera.
Half megapixel.
Yeah. And he sees the video and he's like, God damn, you did it. You're hungry. Like, you're thirsty, you know.
First of all, hold on really quick. You pick the biggest tattoo artist in Athens. Yeah. Right? You call them, first of all. They're like, don't come down. You show up 15 minutes later.
Yeah, go big or go home.
Yeah, the guy's telling you, get out. You put everything out. He's impressed, stops tattooing. He's like, hey, but you got to do this. You go home that night, you do it, you come back. Like, this guy must be nervous at this point on like, I either got to partner with this guy or this kid's gonna...
Yeah, no, right? I wanted to show him that, you know, like when you are at that point, I think you have to give your everything, you know, and for me, that was my way of, sure, expression, but if you don't pursue this, if you don't pursue that chance you have, like, you know, it's like telling you I am playing basketball and I have a chance to show to the biggest agent in the NBA my work. I have to try my best. So yeah, I went home and I tried my best, you know, and I went back and he was like, well done. You know, and he told me, okay, let's start working together. Like, come here every day. Let's see how it works. You know, let's see how it goes. So from the day before that, we were like, we don't want that. Don't even come by. The day after, we were like, at the point that he told me, come every day. Come see me working. And I was like, I asked him, can I tattoo sometimes people? And he goes, is there anybody that wants a tattoo from you? Like, you know, spoke kind of down to me.
Of course.
And I was like, there is some people. And I wanted to impress not only him, but, you know, the people I worked around. So I started contacting everyone I knew. And I was giving them like 20 euro tattoos or 30 euro tattoos. And this
at this place's studio.
Yeah, at this point, I just wanted to practice. And the money that I was getting, it was basically I was taking that 20 euro and I was giving it to the studio for the supplies and everything, even if it didn't cost even as much. And at some point, like a few days later, I was booked for 2 months. Jeez. Every day. Like I tattooed maybe 50 tattoos in 2 months. And after the third, fourth day in a row, he looked at me. We had breaks, you know, Greeks. Yeah. We drink 5 Freddos a day.
Yeah, before lunch.
We had breaks. He was like, are you going to do this in like every day? I was like, yeah, I have people. Where do they come from? He was like, where do you know these people from? And I was like, well, I know I'm a baby, but I wasn't born yesterday. I have a circle, you know, I did graffiti. I have people that I went out with. They want tattoos, so they trust me, you know. And he started getting me seriously, you know. I started to earn this.
Like showing you respect too as a peer?
Yeah, you know, because how else are you gonna earn the respect and the appreciation from someone if you don't show them that you are willing to put the work? Don't talk to me all you want, but if you don't actually put the work. So I started tattooing a lot. And yeah, long story short, I can keep going about my story for hours.
But it's so important. Like, think about where you are with this guy right now. And then you were just saying, hey, everyone gave up on me. They thought I was a deadbeat. I was a menace to society. But like, it's a lesson for people out there, young people, kids, whoever. Like, dude, you just got to find your passion. Your passion was not studying stuff that you weren't interested in. Right. But like, look how we like follow up next day, like every day matters. Like, that's incredible.
Yeah. And I think it comes from the need for self-expression, like arts and crafts, even if it's music or painting, tattooing, whatever it is. For some people, it's fashion or, graphic design, video clips. It's a form of expression. So if you have been through shit in life and a lot of people have the need for self-expression, but maybe most people, but the majority of people are not able to actually express themselves.
Right.
Through music, through painting, through arts or crafts. So being able to take I don't know if it's called the leap of faith, or like being able to take the first step and confront the lack of talent and skill that you have to actually get to the point that you get better, because you have to be real with yourself in order to get better. You have to like sit down and be real with yourself. I suck. To me, that was my my realities check when I was younger. Like, I saw my drawings or my walls and I was like, okay, let's be real. I suck, man. Because I looked at the best in the field and I was like, this is, I should stop.
Or you could have quit after the first tattoo that didn't turn out great. And could be like, this isn't for you. Could have quit right there.
Yeah, but I showed grace because I know, like, nobody is perfect from the first. Like, it's like I'm telling you, you make lights. It's like I'm telling you, go do your first light gig and make it as good as you do it now with Apple or whoever you're gonna do it.
Right.
You have to show grace and understanding and be real. Like, you cannot compare yourself to masters of the craft that are doing it for 30 years if it's the first attempt.
Totally.
So, that's what gave me the, I guess, confidence to be like, hey, take a breather. It's the first ones, Like, who's someone gonna judge you for what? For failing? If you don't fail 1,000 times, you're not gonna win one,
100%.
So I was okay by failing. Or, by confronting my lack of talent and skill. And many people have the need for self-expression, but what I've realized is not many have the ability to actually do it. And if someone else does it and they relate, like, for example, you buy a painting for your house from someone you admire. This guy expressed a feeling or some emotions that you feel as well. So you admire it and support it and want it around you. Because he basically spoke for yourself.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's also with music. You like, for example, a band, Linkin Park, whoever it is. This person or these people, the group of people expressed themselves and you relate to this expression and this feeling and this emotion and you support it. Because they didn't speak for themselves. They spoke for more than that.
And regret comes a lot in this. You see so many people that are older. Oh, I wish I did this or that. Like, putting yourself out there, like, for ridicule and everything. A lot of people don't express themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like, from an expression standpoint, it's like you could live your whole life and be like, you know what? I always wanted to play music and I never did because I thought I'd be embarrassed or whatever. Like, it's a big deal. Regret's a big deal in this area.
Yeah. I think I've met way more people that regret they didn't take that step of doing things than people who actually did something.
Absolutely.
And like, I don't know, regret is a word that we have given to something that I don't completely understand. Like, I don't know, if you really regret it, you would have done it. You know what I mean? A lot of times I feel that.
Absolutely.
But I get it. Like, for me, regret is not a thing. Like, I don't regret things. Like, if I did it at that moment, okay.
Right.
Like, it's what I felt at the moment. And, but yeah, I feel that too many people are afraid of failing and losing, so they don't even try many things.
Which is the majority of people, right? It's what's the safe bet.
And that's when you see someone, and I'm not gonna say myself because there is so many people out there that have literally changed the world. And the reason that this happened in general, it was that they had balls of titanium. You know, so many people, especially in the art field or like innovative fields, they had not only the confidence, but they were crazy enough to believe in something that was practically impossible or crazy, and they didn't care about what other people will think. So they took that step and they failed until they, you know, succeeded into something.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it's...
Dude, that's incredible. So you work for this guy. We're not going to name his name in Athens.
No. Yeah.
You get your experience, but you also show him. I'm sure linking up with him also helped your reputation from your friends. Like, oh, you're working with so-and-so, right? So you build this. Now you're in your mid-20s.
Mm-hmm.
When did you say, all right, I need to go to the next level and open up my own thing and grow that?
Wow, this took over 11, 12 years. But
with the
a
same
few
guy.
months later with the same guy, we were just, our personalities were crashing.
Sure.
Because I was hood, he was hood. I'm dealing with an ex-convict, ex-drug dealer right now. He's really good at what he does. He's a horrible teacher.
Yep.
He's a horrible mentor, like on, you know, being able to be communicative and supportive, and like he was toxic with a whole meaning, of, you know, so I didn't want to deal with that. And at some point he didn't want to deal with me too. Like we kind of respected what we both want to do, but I was fed up because, you know, I didn't want to do this.
Sure.
And bear in mind, I'm 21 right now. I'm not gonna, the emotions were strong, you know, I'm not gonna take shit by anyone at this point. So it didn't work out. And I went to another tattoo studio for a few months that was doing geometric tattoos. With him, it was more black and gray realistic. I went to another studio that was the best in the country in geometric tattoos.
So describe geometric. Like what style is?
It's geometry. It's basically sacred geometric patterns, you know, like I can show you later if you want to do a B-roll or something. But,
we'll put that on.
Yeah, sacred geometry, best studio in the country.
Okay.
And I had the chance to work with them for a few months. Again, very old school mindset. Very limiting. It was not for me. So I left and I was like, you know what? I'm a very loyal guy. Like I'm a loyal dog when it comes to that. And I'm very emotional. So I felt like if I went somewhere else, I am betraying the guy before, you know, that put me...
That was your mindset.
Yeah. Like literally, someone put me on game. I know I would make it. Like, you know, I know I would find my way.
Yep.
But he gave me a chance, you know, and that's a big deal for me. So I don't forget, I'm loyal. So I felt I don't want to go somewhere else and I don't want to work with anybody at this point, because most people who own studios, they are older, they have another mindset. I want to do my own thing. Right. So I just started tattooing in my house, and at some point it was not working because I was getting a reputation and I was getting bigger, and people knew, like they would point their fingers at my house and be like, yeah, that guy is, you know,
it's
basically operating a business in his bedroom. So I didn't want that, and I didn't want to bring my problems to my family.
Yep.
Because the industry is not cute and roses and flowers. You know, the tattoo industry can be dark, and many people who are affiliated with communities or people that you don't want to mess with are into that. So I didn't want to do that, and I didn't want to also bring all that negative part of my industry in my house, because I was a competition to my neighborhood and people around me. I didn't know if someone was going to report me, you know. And so I went back to him. And actually, I think he messaged me after a few months, because he saw that I am actually getting better and better every month, every week. I was getting better and better. And he was like, you know, doing some comments and this and that. And I went back to say hi. I started working again there for a couple of months.
From the original?
2-3 months. Yeah. To this guy. And we were like, yeah, this is not going to work out.
You knew right away.
This is not working out. I'm not going to do this. You're not going to come over my head while I'm tattooing someone and tell me, oh, this is trash, don't charge him. Because he would be like,
oh, geez.
Harsh.
Yeah.
The tough love, definition of tough love.
Right.
You know? But like a week or two before we do that, he linked me with a guy in Denmark. And that was a studio that did guest spots. And in the meantime, I had a guy who came as a walk-in in the studio, and he was a German guy that saw my work in some magazines in Europe bear in mind, I wasn't even tattooing for a year. I don't know who.
Come on.
But I was experimenting with graphic design, geometric tattoos, realistic elements, sketch. I was just doing things that were very controversial, and judged a lot by the community because it's not a tattoo. It's something that you would expect to see on a painting.
Gotcha. Yep.
So.
And you're one of the few that was doing this at that time?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not many people did that. Like, there were a few, but you could count them in in your 1 or 2 hands.
Yep.
So for me, the easy route would be to go black and gray realism. Just do that.
Yep.
Because it's so accepted and people understand it and they relate to it than abstract or, graphic design, collage. This is more niche, more for the art lovers.
Yep.
So I had this guy that was from Germany and he was a tattoo artist. And he had a tattoo studio in a small town in Germany. So I did his favorite tattoo machine here. And he invited me to his studio too. So I went there, then I went to Denmark, and then it just snowballed to me going to, 18 different countries in Europe. From linking with people, showing my work, sending my work, emails, messages to. If you haven't found something that makes you, relax or breathe and express or something, it's just, what are you doing? Experiment a bit with different things, and it's never late. You might find something that you love, and I don't know if that's the meaning of life at the end of the day, but I feel grateful for having something in my life that allowed me to be myself and not to hate my life every single day.
Right.
I hated my life when I was younger, and I would work for people and I would do things that I didn't like different jobs and waitering. And now I might get tired from tattooing, but I love it, so it makes it easier.
Absolutely. That's your passion.
They say you will not work a day in your life if you do what you love. Sure, you do work many days in your life, even if you do what you love, but it makes it easier.
For sure. Are you happy in your early 30s now with where you are here in Los Angeles? Of
course, yeah. I am. I mean, I'm content with what I have always. You know what I mean? Because you might be the richest and the most successful person in the world, and might be depressed and not content with what you have because your needs are through the roof and way higher than what you have. And
you always got to chase it.
Yes, and I know people who have nothing and they live in a tent and they are happy. Because, they are happy with what they have.
George, last summer I'm in Greece on vacation, and my cousin comes from Athens with his wife. Okay, they don't have kids, and he got a new job. And I'm like, how's your new job? And he's early 40s, okay? Won't name his name. Mm-hmm. How are you? Good. Where are you working here? In Greece, they talk about how much do you make a month. I never ask. He tells me, I make this much a month, and so-and-so is working at a restaurant. She makes this month, and every month we bring home this much, and they're happy. He's like, oh, I'm fine. I've saved a couple dollars too. We have our apartment. And he was happy, making a couple €1,000 a month. And I'm sitting there on the other side, happy, blessed. My kids are running. We're in the ocean. But I'm sitting there. I'm like, the Airbnb that I rented, right now for a few days, that doesn't even cover part of this. We're chasing all this over here in North America. It's never enough, all this stuff. And I swear that night I was telling my wife, I'm like, I'm so happy for my cousin who's happy with what he has and what he's doing. Mm-hmm. And it's just in my mind, like you said, the happiness, you don't need things. And I find growing up in Canada, North America, you think you do well. It's like, cool, I got this. This is what I wanted. Oh, he has 2 of those. I need 3. And subconsciously you get into this fucking rat race where it's nonstop. And it's like, where do you stop?
It's not our fault. I think we are programmed that way because otherwise the world is not going to work. Capitalism and materialism is what has going on for decades now, if not, since
centuries, right? That's what started wars. That's what,
But, at the end of the day, you come with nothing, you will live with nothing, and you're not going to take to your grave anything.
Absolutely.
Other than your tattoos.
Other than your tattoos.
What I did there? So,
Give them a history lesson. The world's oldest tattoos, 6,000 years ago, I read.
Probably, yes. I don't know. I know Ozzy the Iceman that they found in the mountains, the Ozzy mountain between Austria and Italy at the Tyrol area is probably 5,000 years old or something. Okay. And he was found with 57 tattoos.
Yes.
And, but back then people didn't do tattoos to be sexy or to like get, something badass. They did it more for, I believe, medical reasons.
Okay.
Like acupuncture these days, but who knows 5,000 years ago what they were doing. They were cavemen, but they are tattoos that look like minimal line works. You can do B-roll and show what he has, but, overall it's not the same vibe and way we're doing them now,
right.
So it's pretty old. Tattoos are as old as, we remember us as humans for now with what evidence we have.
Yes.
But that's why I think that people sometimes think, oh, tattoos are a trend. What's a trend? If tattoos are a trend, houses are a trend.
Yes. Yeah.
Tattoos are older than houses
right.
buildings. So you cannot just say tattoos are a trend,
How come in ancient Greece there's no... Right, you look at old civilizations, right? Like ancient Greeks, ancient Romans, tattooing was not known in the culture, right? Like you don't see markings today where...
Damn.
I'm just curious if...
Good question. I really don't know. I am sure people were tattooing everywhere in the world.
We got to fact check that. That would...
Yeah, I mean, tattooing is... Basically, you have to go back to how it was done, It was basically done with bones, I believe, of animals. That they were sharp enough and like blood or charcoal to create the ink and all this.
Right.
I think Greeks, first of all, we have been notorious for being creative, innovative, and crazy enough to even introduce, democracy and, help into mathematics and geometry and law, or things that, was not a concept around the world. So if we didn't tattoo, I don't know who did. I don't need evidence to think that my ancestors did tattoos. I want to believe. I'm a believer,
So you heard it here. Greeks even invented tattooing. That's what Drone is saying?
Yeah. No. Tattooing comes from basically, you know what? If you go online and you read about tattooing, it might show that tattooing started from, New Zealand or places that they dated 2,000 years ago. But we have tattoos and evidence of 6,000 years ago.
Right.
So where did it start? Who knows? We don't have enough evidence yet, We see civilizations in, what was it, Eastern Turkey is the oldest places and monuments they found. The older civilizations or things we find, that's where probably tattooing started from as well.
Yes.
Because, it's like, we don't really know much.
Exactly.
And the more we get to know, the more we know nothing.
Yeah. Socrates.
Yeah,
so there we go. You're dropping that.
Yeah.
Fast forward to Malaka Tattoo in Los Angeles.
Yes, sir.
So anyone in the tattoo world knows of you, knows of your studio. The name is edgy, right? Mm-hmm. We'll get into that. But you're not just an owner of a studio. You're not just a tattoo artist, right? Like you're bringing new talent here. You're partnering with them. You're uplifting them. You're doing what that first guy in Greece did not do to you, right? But indirectly, he kind of did.
Yes.
You proved it yourself, but you're doing that. So just why did you move to the States of all places, come here right before COVID and start this?
Good question. Why did I choose USA?
Yeah.
First of all, I traveled Europe and I ended up in Hamburg, 2016. I lived for a year or a year and a half in Hamburg, Germany, because it was a nice, calm, peaceful city of Germany. And it was northern Germany. And bear in mind now that was the era, they still are a little judgmental towards Greeks in Germany because of politics and the European Union and financial things. And 2016, when I believe it was still Merkel, there was a big economic thing going on, controversial financial situation with Germany, that is the boss of European financial things, and Greece. So when I was going to Germany, I encountered racism, especially in southern Germany as a Greek. So I didn't want to deal with racism because this is like, it's the worst thing you can like put up to my face. I hate racism. And I chose northern Germany to avoid that, first of all, because I knew I'm going to be a competition in the city. And I knew that if I invest in that city, at some point, I'm going to probably open my own place. And I did not want to be around Bavarians. Like, Bavaria is the place of Germany that is more conservative, right-wing, they will find a reason to hate everyone and everything for the problems of their lives. And usually it's immigrants, you know. So I choose Hamburg. I stay there for a year and a half, and then I choose Amsterdam. And Amsterdam was just a change of scenery for me because Hamburg was boring. It's a place that you go to retire. And I'm giving you a little background story now of why I am going from place to place, trying to find my place, you know, my home. Where is home? Because again, as I told you, I'm a believer of people experimenting. I don't believe that someone can just be so sure of their move if they visit a place once and they just move there. You're Greek. Okay, you've never been anywhere in your life. You visit London once and now you move there.
Right.
Why don't you explore and take a few $100 of different flights to different cities to see if somewhere else is more relatable and, you know, calm and peaceful for you, or it's more you. So that's what I was doing. I was doing my research because I knew that Athens or Greece is not for me at this point, especially with what I want to do in my art and my life. Maybe a little more conservative community than I would like to, because I want to do modern art, and which USA is the place to be if you're a modern artist. So I go from Hamburg to Amsterdam. I had the chance to work with another amazing artist, and for a year and a half again. And again, Amsterdam, amazing place, one of my favorite cities.
Open-minded place, right?
Very open-minded place, sure. But it's a party, bachelor city. It's like, it's not somewhere that you want to settle if you, if you want to be in a place that you're thinking long-term and you're playing the long game. Am I going to make a business here? Am I going to have a family here? There is like prostitutes on the windows of a red light district. There is like British people partying and destroying properties and like just doing whatever they can't do in their country here. It's just not a great place to be more than a year and a half. That was my,
Most people go there to unleash, let loose, and then get out of there.
Yeah. So I came every now and then. I visited USA to come to tattoo conventions. From 2015, I also had a sponsor, 2014, 2015, of colors, and that's Starbright Colors. So that sponsor of mine, Tommy, has a convention in Connecticut.
Okay.
That I saw your number is probably from.
Yeah, I moved from Ireland to Connecticut 20 plus years ago.
Wow, okay.
And I've kept my number ever since.
Tommy's father was one of the first people that did colors in the tattoo industry in the USA. Starbright Colors are one of the most reputable brands. And his father, I believe the convention was owned by his father and the company as well before he takes over. So he had the Connecticut Tattoo Convention called Tommy's Tattoo Convention in the Connecticut Convention Center.
Where, in Hartford?
Yeah, Hartford.
Okay,
yeah. So he starts inviting me. I'm like, let me do it, you know, and I did New York conventions. I basically started working for free, for the record, in conventions to get my awards so I can build a case for a visa, potentially. So I can try USA too. And to do it the legal way, you need an artist visa. So at some point I visited the Inked magazine offices, and they saw me working. They saw I have a good work ethic and I'm a hard worker, and they were like, after I spammed them basically and I was tagging them in every story, I was pushing, they contacted me and they were like, come by our office, let's talk. And
where are they, in New York now? Inked
magazine, yes. And at this point, Sammy, the manager, tells me we're going to open a tattoo studio on Soho, on Lafayette, extremely central spot, across the Supreme store. We want Supreme drone there. And I was like, hell yeah, that's a good deal. Like, I'm going to do it.
Are you Supreme drone at this point?
Yeah, I was Supreme drone at this point. The Supreme drone, for the record, again, came from like reselling clothes. I was going to London and Paris. I would try to make an extra back on the side, and I would buy Supreme clothes. Maybe sometimes two of the same sweater, to sell one and to have the other one for free for me. Not really to really make money, but to get free clothes.
Yeah, exactly.
Same with shoes, Yeezys, Nike SB, Jordans, all this. But Supreme was my bread and butter because in Greece at this point, 2015, no one is selling Supreme.
And Supreme's the top brand in the world, right? Everyone's...
not the top brand, but you know, for the street guys that want to dress well, or you know, someone who's out of the hood and it's like he has some money, and you know, it's not Gucci prices and Louis Vuitton prices, but you can still have some nice creative clothes.
But the aftermarket got crazy. Like
it did. That's why I was doing it too, you know. So I was going London, Paris, New York, LA and all this, and I would bring back clothes and resell them for an extra buck. So when people were calling me drone, they were like, you know, who drone? The Supreme drone. Okay, the Supreme guy. Oh, okay. So, because on Facebook, when you put marketplace listings, a lot of times if you don't press hide from friends, which was not an option back then.
Right.
All my friends were looking at me listing all these clothes and they were like, what are you doing? Are you poor? Like, are you getting out of why are you selling clothes?
Yes.
And I was like, it's not my clothes. I'm just selling them to make.
I'm flipping it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was I was judged a lot for this. Like, you're doing tattoos. What are you selling clothes? Can you block me so I don't see this shit you're selling all the time? And it became a thing. People started doing it. The reselling got bigger and bigger with Off-White, Balenciagas, even, then Yeezys, Jordans, Nike's, B's. But I was one of the first resellers. And a lot of times, at the end of the day, I started doing it from another profile. So people don't know who I am.
Right.
Because at some point I might had $30,000-$40,000 worth of stock in my apartment and I didn't want people to know because, they knew.
Oh, yeah.
So I did it from another profile with different names and, most was shipped. So people didn't know.
Better.
Anyway, yeah, long story short, I apply for my visa, artist visa in New York. Midway through the application, Inked Magazine tells me, you remember the guy we told you we're going to collaborate with and open the studio with, another businessman? I was like, yeah. They go, he bought us out. He's going to open the studio by himself. So Inked Magazine never opens.
Okay.
Another studio opens. Soho Ink. So I go to Soho Ink for a year and a half.
Oh, wow.
From end of 2018 to March of 2020.
So you're living in New York. Where were you living in New York?
Astoria.
So Astoria, and you were going in and out to Soho?
That's the Greek community, yes.
Yeah, Greek. That's where I met my wife, my now wife in Astoria. I lived Columbus Circle for 15 years.
Oh, I was 30th and 30th.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. I was at Athens Square.
Yeah. So what was your go-to cafe in Astoria? Where would you always go for?
Man, New York bagel and coffee, something. It was a Greek guy that I didn't know what a bagel was until I moved to New York. And then I just got fat on bagels.
Yeah, it's just bread,
Yeah.
Okay, so you're working at Soho.
Yeah.
What type of clientele would you get there? Was it a lot of locals, tourists?
Most locals, but I had people coming from Europe because everyone that messaged me and they were like, hey, when are you coming back to Luxembourg, Belgium, London? I was like, never.
Never.
I was like, dude, I came to New York. I'm not going to come just to tattoo a few of you. Come over. I'll give you a deal. You're not going to get what I do anyway there. Who are you going to get it from? So people were getting things similar to mine, or they would get my designs and give it to local artists and they would get fucked over.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can swear on your video.
We encourage it.
Okay,
we encourage it.
So, and at the end of the day, some of them would come. After they did a mistake or two, they would come over to New York. So I had people coming from Europe or Australia, Asia, still, like they would come to Europe. And it didn't last for long because COVID hit.
Right.
So it was end of 2020, around 7 months after I started in that studio, I quit because I didn't,
New York was locked down, like it was.
Yeah, that's before COVID. That's before COVID. I had already quit from that studio.
Okay.
And I took the decision to redo my visa because my visa was attached to the studio. So I did my visa again with another studio, and I made a deal with him to basically take over his studios. He had 2 studios, and I told him, I know the industry, I know how things work, I'm good with marketing, I'm gonna skyrocket it, because he had a drug problem and he was not focusing on his business. And I told him, look, I'm drug free, I don't even smoke weed, I don't drink alcohol, I'm locked in. Give me a good deal to work in your studio, and I'm gonna give back by basically taking your 1.5 million revenue you have in this year to 5 times this. I know I can do it.
In New York?
Yeah.
You had that confidence?
Yeah. I wouldn't even make money from it. I would just have a good deal for myself to make from my tattoos a little more than I would make in a studio. Yeah. But that was a way of me trying to, make my way into the industry and experiment with someone's business before I do mine, because I knew the numbers, the math was mathing. I knew he's doing 1.5 million a year from 2 studios without advertising and shitty management. Like, he was on mushrooms and psychedelics, and he was not locked in like I would be. So I quit from that first studio. I did my visa again with the other studio, and
he accepted the deal to grow it.
Yeah. Because he knew, he trusted me too. He was like, yeah, okay, let's do it, But the very first week or 2 that I went to the studios, and I was like, okay, guys, we have to get our shit together now. And the studios, first of all, have to be clean. You cannot work in a studio that's dirty. cross-contamination and hygiene for me is number one. So I made sure the studios are clean. People started not liking it, like they were like, oh, but it's okay. And it's like,
who's this guy? Who's...
Yeah, you're new. Like, I'm not, did you tell them that I'm gonna do this? No, yeah, It basically looked off to them that I was telling them, guys, let's be clean. Let's be, on top of our game. And I want you in a respectful way to do this, and that. And if you follow these steps, we're going to make it, People didn't like to be told what they, were supposed to do. They were more used to just work whenever they wanted, come to the studio whenever they wanted, post whatever on their social media. For me, that wasn't working. I told him, we have to follow a few steps for the business to succeed. They have to get serious. Whoever is not willing to get serious, whoever is on drugs, whoever is letting a client wait because they had a long night of partying, this is unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Some things have to change. And it didn't work out, because he was a little racist towards me. And
so you experienced racism in different markets, eh?
Oh yeah.
He was white American?
Studios, even in the first studio in New York.
Even in New York?
Yeah. I would hear things like, it's nothing for us to cancel your visa and you go back to your country. And you're speaking to someone who is, at the end of the day, independent at this point. I was booking my own tattoos.
Right.
I am giving you 40% and I am advertising for myself. I basically just use your station. I make thousands of dollars. I pay my taxes. And I am 5 minutes late to my client because the train from Astoria is 50 minutes and you're telling me that you're going to take 15% off next time I am late.
Yeah, come on.
A lot of things are off, Yeah. But this is building up for me for years now until I say, okay, I'm going to open my own spot and have no one over my head. So the second guy, we have a meeting with the studio. So it's the time for him to announce that, hey, you know what? George is not really your colleague. He's here to get our shit together so we can all succeed. Because there is a way that we can make this happen. There is some steps that we have to follow. It will not come out of, what do you say in the USA? Thin air?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it will not come out of thin air. You have to follow the steps. You have to be professional. You don't just reach the point of charging $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 tattoos by being unprofessional and inconsistent. And instead of him saying that he kind of started the meeting in that way with 15 people from the two studios, the whole team. I believe he was hungover or still under the influence of some drugs. He was extremely toxic, and he was he made it sound like I am a creep or something without having a reason to do that. Yep. He was like, this is not Greece and this is not the Balkans. So George, be careful of how you're going to be acting in the studio. And I turn around and I was like, where did this come from?
Right.
Because at this point I have got my visa. The week before I got my visa. So in his mind, he's with us now. We got his ass.
I can say whatever I want.
My visa is for 3 years. I cannot work legally anywhere else. If I go and I work across the street, he can deport me.
Yes.
And he throws this bomb in the meeting, and I'm like, where did this come from? We haven't interacted even, and I haven't even started here, working.
Yeah, not a good sign.
And he goes, just so you know, because this is USA, and it's not and I was like, where do you think I come from? Where do you think, what do you think, this is disrespectful. I was like, you're not supposed to say that. I haven't given you a reason to say that. And we have this back and forth now in a meeting with 15 people, and it's off. The vibe is off. I'm like, dude, get your shit together. I'm here to help you, and I am not expecting much in return. I'm not here for this. So... Did
you stay quiet at that point? Were you just...
No, I was very loud and clear about what he just threw was off. Because these people don't know me. You know me because I've worked here as a guest once or twice. Where did this come from?
Immediate disrespect now.
This is the introduction to these people that are supposed to listen to me, and I'm going to be the supervisor. No, I'm not going to do this. And the meeting is over, and I, take him in person in private, and I tell him, what the fuck? What are you doing? And he goes, I just wanted to let you know. No, this is not how you know anyone. I know where I am. I have nothing new here. And I'm respectful, and I'm not, that's why I have so many women clients. And at the end of the day, I was like, you know what, dude? I give you like a few days. Think about it when you clean a bit. Because, when someone is I have been around.
Yep.
I've never done drugs in my life. And when I say that to people, they think I'm kidding a lot of time.
Why? Is it associated
some
in this?
weed,
But in this industry, it comes with the culture?
In my world, no. But yeah, like, a lot
in general,
people who like to live life and get tattooed and all this, like, yeah, it's like drugs are a part of it.
Right.
And weed, okay, cool. Sometimes people say tobacco and alcohol is a worse drug than weed. Weed is the only thing I've done an alcohol in my life.
Yeah.
I've never even done the white powder or anything in my life, ever. I'm anti-drug as fuck. So,
okay.
And when I deal with people like that, I can understand that, sometimes they need a few days maybe to clean up or...
Their balance is off.
I tell him, I give you a few days. And after a few days, again, he told me in person something that was completely off. Like he told me, I'm your boss now and I own your ass because the visa is with us. So you don't let me high your percentage. Like he told me basically, don't let me like give you a worse deal. So obey what I'm telling you. And I was like, do you realize
that's a bad human?
Yes. And I was like, right now, I was like so pissed. But at the same time, I was, thinking and contemplating my options. I was like, do you realize that this is a lose-lose thing, what you're doing right now? You can win from this way more than I can win from this. And I was like, you know what? I don't need this in my life. I'm done with you. Like, I'm not going to entertain this because you don't look like you are willing to go to rehab or to get your shit together or to do all that. And I started thinking, okay, New York is bad for me. For the record, I've had pneumonia twice from my trips to Northern Europe and I'm a Greek body.
Right.
So the times that I had pneumonia were tough. Like one time it was critical, so New York was really cold for me. And I had in my mind that I really like California and I want to do Los Angeles. So when this happens with this dude, and it's, bear in mind, my second visa. I had just received my second visa.
So what happens now when you're off that you have 90 days as a tourist now?
Yes, but he hadn't canceled my visa.
Right.
He was not like it was my money, my visa. I could do whatever I wanted really. He was like, you know what? I know I fucked up and you can just go work to another studio with my visa. And I was like, I'm not going to work illegally. I'm going to work somewhere legally because I play the long game. And I came to Los Angeles and I had a deal with another studio here. And I said, okay, let's move to LA. And I come here January of 2020. I give $6,000 to a real estate company and I rent a place. It was basically my first month and my deposit. And COVID hits.
Mm-hmm. Jeez.
And I had everything packed already for Los Angeles. And instead of going to LA, because I realized everything is going to shut down now, and even flights are stopping, I put everything in a storage unit. I canceled my $6,000. I lost them for LA. I canceled the move to LA and I came back to Greece. I was like, if I'm going to die, let me die at my place.
Right.
Because I am also a weak immune system with pneumonia history and all this. So
you were freaked out. You go back to Athens with your parents? I was
freaked out because, I was one of the first that will take it if, it happens. Like we're having pneumonia and having a weak immune system, being hard worker since I was young and not really being healthy and all this. Like, tattooing takes a toll. Smoking, all this.
Oh, yeah.
So I stay for like a year in Athens. Yeah. I moved here 2021 November.
Okay.
4 years and 2 weeks ago. And I come here with that studio, and this studio had basically told me that, they're going to book me, it's going to be amazing. It was one of the most famous studios in the world. And they promised me, in Greece we say lagous ke petrachilya. They promised me the world. Yeah. Yes. And I come here with my ex-girlfriend and our dog, and I basically don't have an update regarding my bookings and my schedule. And I book a hotel for 2 weeks and I go to the studio first day and I tell them, hey guys, you have delayed my schedule. I don't know my bookings yet. What have we done? Have you booked me? And bear in mind, I had sent them tens of requests as well.
Right.
Like from people that wanted to get booked, maybe 100 people. Jeez. I would send everything there. And they were like, well, no, we don't have any booking for you. Bear in mind, I come broke.
Yeah, you need...
I I was thinking, okay, I'm going to work the first days, I'm going to buy a cheap car, I'm going to rent my apartment.
Yeah.
And I have a hotel for 2 weeks and no money. And I come here and they tell me, well, you don't have any bookings. We haven't booked you yet, but we might have some walk-ins in the next days. Which basically means you're going to make some $100. And at this point, I need maybe $5,000 for my first deposit, maybe $5 more for my car, because in LA, you can't make it without a car.
No, impossible.
And I was like, you can't be serious right now. Like, you brought me and 10, 12 other people from different countries, and you didn't make sure that we can actually work. You just, But in the middle of my third visa, the first big studio with a big name that told me we're going to make, they gave me a deal that while I applied for my visa and I was on the way in the middle, of the process, they called me and they were like, well, the deal is a different deal now. And they gave me a lower deal, worse for me. But I was already on the visa. I had already started the visa, so I couldn't change it. And then I had another phone call and they told me, well, you're not going to come with us. We're going to have some of the artists that we, chose to work with. And then we're going to open a second studio because we have too many artists interested. And on the second studio, we're going to put some other people that we feel that you're going to make it without our help as much.
Jeez.
Like me, because I was different. And I was like, dude, you're lowering my deal. I had already said no to another guy of a better deal I had than that. And now you tell me we're not even going to work together. You're going to have us as a second studio.
People like this should be prosecuted. They're taking advantage of the visa system.
Oh, yeah.
What's the difference in slavery?
They have to be prosecuted for different reasons, not for that.
Okay, yeah.
I start in this studio along with many people from different countries, and it's all the same story. Some people come, and a couple of weeks later, they move back to their country, or they leave.
Jeez.
And some of them have closed studios in their countries, their own businesses.
To come here.
Come here with a dream, with their wife, with some... and I did not appreciate it. Let's just say it this way.
You burn that place down or what?
No. I call my marketing team in Greece and I tell them, listen, here's the deal. They fucked me over. I am here. I have 10 days. In 10 days, I'm homeless. Just so you know. Yeah. I have no money. I need to go rent another Airbnb or somewhere to live with my... Bear in mind, I'm not alone at this point. I have brought a girl from Greece and a dog. And it's not just, I'm this nomad pirate from Greece.
No Greek network here at all in California. No. There's nobody to call like, hey, can I...
No.
I didn't know you then.
No
you
parents
could stay on my,
lent me $5,000, no nothing.
Right.
I help my parents. They don't help me.
Yeah.
And man, it's like, I call them and I tell them, I don't know, let's run. How much? Like, let's put ads, let's book. And
so you have someone in Greece that does your marketing at this point?
Yeah. And at this point, I thought the studio, having the name it had, and them having investors on their backs and money, they would invest something to make a buck. Jeez. But they expected from me my 40% without spending $1, just by giving me a little table and to work at. So I called them and we ran, A few days later, I had tens of thousands of dollars of bookings.
Come on.
I bought a car, I rent my apartment, and I realized I should not be here in the studio anymore.
Jeez.
And bear in mind, it's the third time I'm spending $8,000 to make a visa in between 2 years.
Right.
One visa is for 3 years. You're supposed to pay your dues and have this $8,000-9,000 that the visa costs in between these 3 years.
Yes.
I did the third visa in 2 years. I had already spent $27,000 for these 3 visas.
Come on, man.
And the 2 last visas, I didn't even work. So
hold on though. You book this all within a few. At this point, you have a big reputation online. How are people getting those bookings for you?
I was doing advertising on Instagram and Facebook campaigns, and with booking forms, people that were interested in what I do, because not many people do that here, abstract tattoos, graphic design, modern tattoos. They would fill the forms and I would contact them, and I was hustling. I was working 16 hours a day. Yeah. Not tattooing, being online, posting, sending my work to magazines, printing cards, going around and giving cards. Yeah. I'm in survival mode at this point, point, because time is ticking. I am here and I have to rent an apartment and buy a car, pay for food. I don't know.
Does your girlfriend know at this point, or are you trying to keep it from her?
No, I'm always transparent with my people, I told her she knew but I also didn't even fling. I stressed, but I wasn't freaking out. Like, and that's, I think it comes from a good friend said it very good. He told me very good, explained it to me. We were painting trains together in Greece. And he told me now he's a pilot in Dubai. He's flying Boeings.
Oh, jeez.
And he told me that people that have been through adrenaline and moments like what we went through, being chased by security guards or cops or painting trains, doing this, they deal way better and calmly in moments that are looking like very stressful, you know. And I feel I had that many times, you know, in times in my life that were very, they would break someone.
Of course.
I knew that, you know, I have to breathe, I have to take a moment, and I want to solve it. I will not, you know, dig a grave and fall in there and just stay and cry, you know.
I mean, you weren't running from the cops in Greece. Right? Remember, you weren't running from all the police. So right now you have this problem. It's like, all right, let's figure this out.
Yeah. No, I'm a problem solver, you know. I like that. And I am trying to not like try to find excuses or throw the responsibilities to others. I'm just trying to fix it. So that was probably one of the times in my life that I was like, I am here. I have 10 days. I'm homeless in 10 days. Right. What do we do? You know, okay, I need money. How do we make money? We find clients. How do we find clients? I was very, what do you call it? Rational?
Yeah.
I was very rational, like locked in.
And where were you doing the tattoos?
At the studio.
At the studio. So you were booking.
I didn't want to work illegally ever. You know, I wanted to do it the right way because I knew that I am a competition. People don't like that.
Of course.
And the first reason I give them to put me down, to, you know, throw me out, that's gonna be, you know, a problem for me. So sure, I trusted people like I did with them or others, and I got basically, you know, poison and a lot of stress, but we made it, you know. And a few months later I was like, you know what, guys, 6-7 months in, you haven't given me a single client, you want a big percentage, I don't like what's happening, it smells dirty, and it smells like I don't want to be a part of whatever is happening behind the scenes with this business. And I am out, just so you know. So I was the first person to leave before everyone else left and the studio closed down.
Were you already planning your studio at this point?
No. But the thing is that, imagine I went to that first studio in New York. I left and a few months later it closed down. Business went down.
Yep.
I will go to the second studio. A year after, the studio goes down.
The drug addict.
Yeah. Yep. They close down. And I learned that he has some lawsuits going on for sexual abuse or harassment, sexual harassment. So whatever he was saying about me in the meeting, he was basically telling himself.
Of course.
You know, so the whole studio that I had that meeting and I told them, I don't believe in this dude. I don't like what's happening. You have time to leave. And then I left too. They were contacting me, and that's how I found out, because I had blocked him.
Oh, okay.
And they were like, dude, you were right. He has a lawsuit for sexual harassment now and this and that. That goes down. The third studio, again, I leave and everyone else leaves and it goes down. So I've left from 3 studios at this point and they all went out of business. And it kind of gave me the, you know, I don't know, the feeling that, because my lawyer at this point, he goes, bro, you're planning to do a 4th artist visa. You're sure it's not you? Are you sure it's not you? Like, maybe it's you.
Right. You got to ask the question.
Because I've never seen that before. Yeah, the immigration lawyer at this point tells me, dude, are you sure? Do you want to like go for a green card and open your own? It looks like you can't work with anyone. And I was like, dude, the first 3 studios, they closed down.
Right.
How is it me? When 12 other artists are leaving from every studio, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
And the business goes down. So I do the 4th visa again with a guy that I know at this point for over a decade from Denmark. On the last studio I worked on, Melrose. And I tell him, listen, dude, I've been through a lot. I just want a place until I am ready for my green card. I'm just going to get my green card and I'm out. Yeah. Just so you know, I'll come, I'll pay your rent, basically. Buy my 1 chair out of your 10 chairs, me by myself. I'm going to be giving you enough that your business is going to survive only by me. Give me a good deal. Just leave me by myself. I don't want to go through anything that I went through before.
You were transparent with him.
Yes, and he was not American, which was with the previous people, American and Spanish. And he was a Kurdish guy from Denmark that I knew for over a decade. So at least I didn't face racism with the last studio, you know, because the other experiences, there was a lot of racial problems involved, you know, and comments and toxicity and negativity. And I was like, so unnecessary comments to a kid that was just trying to make it from Greece, you know, like at the end of the day, if someone was not as strong or like confident or, you know, didn't care as much as I did, they would break someone.
Of course, they'd be back home talking about, of course.
No, it's things in the situations that I can see how someone can break and go back.
Yep.
Because when you come from a place like Greece, in Greece we say Psarokostena, when you come from the middle of nowhere, a new kid in USA, and you start working 20 days a month, and the American next to you who is tattooing for 20 years has 5 appointments in this month, they get bitter. People love it when you make it and you're near them, but if you actually do better, there is another side of them coming out. And I saw that side. You know?
I want you to do well, just not better than me. That's the mentality.
Yeah. And then they wanted it or not, many of them, no matter what they looked like, their true colors came out. And they were like, there were comments about where I'm from, or I would hear, this is America, and in a bad way, not in a good way. And I was like, in the back of my head, because I want to believe I am educated, I was thinking, you don't have a clue what America stands for and what America is.
Right.
You know, it's a country built by immigrants, with immigrants. You know, it's not even Americans America. You know, it's a place that, you know, it's...
That's the foundation, is different culture.
Like, I have got myself loving America really at the end of the day more than Americans that I've met, because I understand and I value the place for what it is. I know the history of the place. I know when some white American boy tells me this is America, and I'm thinking, you're Irish. Stop it.
Right. You're just a couple more generations here than me.
Yeah. Like, it's not, you know, like...
Well, I grew up in Canada.
America stands for anti-racism, you know what I mean? It's not supposed to, like, the founding fathers that they say, they would roll in their graves if they saw what's happening lately, you know?
Well, there's no the true Americans or the true Canadians are natives. That's it. If you really want to get technical, there's no such. I grew up in Canada. It's like, okay, Greek boy, this, like you got that, but it's like,
it's the accent instantly, you know, like, for example, me with that accent, people don't even need to ask me, oh, you're not from here. They know. They already know. And when someone comes, even clients a lot of times, and they see and they hear and they're like, they pay me thousands of dollars. If they are not doing well for themselves, many times are going to be like, damn, this guy just made so much money. Are you paying your taxes? Yes, I'm paying a lot of taxes.
Yep.
You know, people that are in EBT or like, you know, they have, support from our socialistic part of our capitalistic system. I'm a part of who's funding that, you know. I pay a lot. And I'm doing it the legal way. So... which hurts financially a lot of times to do it the legal way.
Absolutely.
But if you want to play the long game, you have to follow the rules. You have to be a good boy. You have, you know, Uncle Sam, good with Uncle Sam. You know, you have to have a good relationship with the system. So,
well, you have to. And then, you know, talk about the economy really quick. It's, you pay a lot here in taxes, right?
Yeah.
In the States, but it's for a reason. Like, it gives back a lot.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying on healthcare and all that stuff, but you know, in Greece, you pay a lot in taxes. In Canada, you pay a lot in taxes. What does Greece really give back your average Greek citizen? Right?
You're right. Yeah.
You know, at least here, you know, you could bash it. A lot of people that don't live in the States will bash it and, this and that. It's like, but everyone wants to come here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
for me, as an artist, this is the place to be. But for many people that I know and they ask me and they say, how is USA? And, you know, classic.
Yep.
Your wife, I think, just asked me, how is it?
Yes.
It depends. It's subjective. That's my favorite word lately. It's very subjective, because if you're not an artist or if you're not in a field and an industry that actually USA can provide and can offer way more things for what you do, and there is not so much potential in USA as, you know, it would be somewhere else. USA is not for everyone and for everything. And you have to have a strong stomach. Sometimes you have to, like we say in Greece, like, δεν έχεις το στομάχι για Αμερική, you know, or για ξενιτιά. Ξενιτιά is immigration. It's not for everyone. And it's not for everything that you do. Like, for an artist like me that does modern art, USA is the place to be. And I chose to answer your question of an hour ago, why I chose USA after all this, like, backstory of visas and madness that I went through.
Which
By
is
the way,
great
I
to
got a
hear
green
by
card a year and a half ago.
card.
Yeah.
But it's great, especially you have a following, you have a fan base.
Yeah.
It's good for everyone to understand the struggle. You didn't just come here.
No.
The studio was waiting. You're successful. Like that's a grind.
It is, yes.
And you should have gone back and hated this place after the second, third, fourth time. You know what I mean? Like you should have gone back and be like, you know what? It's not for me. These guys are screwing me over.
No. You need to be a little crazy to continue after, you fall again and you stand up and you fall and you stand and yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So I chose USA because it's like, as a painter, that I want to promote this and actually at the end of the day, slowly transition into a hybrid painter and tattoo artist. This is the place to be.
Yes.
It's either USA or lately or London, the UK. So in the times that we're living now, again, it's slow in both industries, tattooing and the art field, but
it's tied to the economy.
Yeah, a lot. And the world is changing faster than we are able to adjust a lot of times, and social media, TikTok, all these things.
Sure.
It's like, it's changing fast. And I feel that USA, for someone who is creative or in that field of art, music, especially Hollywood or Broadway in New York, the two coasts are the place to be.
Of course, yeah.
Maybe Atlanta or, somewhere, Texas, if you want to do something that is similar to that, but in a different vibe and community and,
Yeah.
You want to be a cowboy. You can be a cowboy in Texas. But yeah, 1.5 years ago, I got my green card. I told that studio I'm out.
Yep.
And a few weeks later, they closed down. So 4
studios closed down since you left.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Jeez.
Am I a jinx? I don't know,
man. Basically, don't hire drone. That's why you started. Yeah, that's it.
No. But the thing is that all 4 studios were run by businessmen and not tattoo artists. And to be fair, the last studio closed down in the worst timing in our industry.
Of course.
So he is a very reputable businessman in the tattoo industry in Europe, and he had one of the most successful studios. I think that the times right now didn't help a lot,
course.
And
plus the contact, the face, like you guys were affected so much.
Yes.
Right,
yeah.
during lockdown measures and all this.
Yeah. This and another thing is that, even if he's a great businessman, he was in Denmark running the business overseas. It's difficult. You know? And LA is tough. It's not for everyone. You need to have a strong stomach.
Yeah.
Like West Coast is, it's survival of the fittest, and it's the big. I always. When I go back to Greece, I compare it to poker tables and Hold'em, Texas. How is it called? The Texas Hold'em.
Yeah.
To my people, because they say, oh yeah, Athens is also difficult. I'm like, yeah, if Athens is difficult and it's the table of level 1, LA is at the table level 3 of Texas Hold'em. It's the big tables. My competitors are the biggest studios in the world.
In the world, yes.
In the world. Yeah, I'm competing with the best in the world. I'm not like in my little village trying to be the king of the village. Ο μονόφθαλμος χώρα των τυφλών, the one-eyed in the land of blind.
Right.
So, yeah, it's you need to be ambitious and to have a strong stomach and to really believe in yourself and put the work. It doesn't come by itself. What they say in New York, if you make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. That's LA.
Yeah.
Like if you make it in LA, you can definitely make it everywhere.
Especially in what you're saying. Like I lived in New York 15 years and dude, it is survival of the fittest, right? When it comes to business, everything. LA, similar on the art side. So starting Malaka Tattoos, what made you want to jump in? You're an artist. You're great at it, obviously. But to go in now and get into the business side, just talk to me about that process. Was it?
Yeah.
And the name, start with the name and everything too.
Yeah. First of all, I'm an artist. I'm not a businessman. But at the same time, being an artist, who says that Jay-Z, I'm not a businessman, I am a businessman?
Yes.
Our business, tattooing as a tattoo artist, most times if you are a traveling artist or you're someone who is booking their own, who's dealing with different places, I am a business. I am my own business. So slowly I kind of adjusted to the fact that I have to make sure I advertise or I tick some boxes to get booked because nobody is gonna do that for me. But the opening of the studio basically it just came as a result of 2 people I knew, and they needed an artist visa, and I thought, I want to open a small space for myself and maybe a couple other people, but in order to sponsor visas, I need a bigger place. I need an established studio.
Okay.
In order to be a sponsor for an artist visa as a studio owner, you need to have an established studio and a good website. There is some things that you have to comply with. Like I spoke with the lawyers, they were like, you need a big studio. And I thought, okay, I have some people that work in the previous studio before I open mine. And I learned that with my living, the studio is closing down and they are losing their visas. So I'm like, I feel obligated at this point to help them out because
Sure.
they are also from my country. So I want to help my people out. So I opened the studio, I invest everything I have on the side and even more. I borrow some money from my best friend. Here and there I make it and I open the studio. So it was not meant to be that big. My studio is almost 4,000 square feet.
Jeez.
On La Brea in Melrose. This is big, you know.
In Melrose on La Brea.
Yeah.
I got to come, when I come for my tattoo, I'm
we have
coming
a
there.
pool table.
Okay.
But it's big, you know, and the rent is in the 5 figures and it's like, it's a big risk for reward.
It's a lot of overhead, yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of overhead. So it was never meant to be that big, but I did it so I can be a sponsor to their visas and like maybe do more visas for the Greeks and to give them, and Europeans too, and Asians, and give them the opportunity I didn't have. A good asylum/collective studio that is not gonna take advantage of them, is not gonna be racist with them, is not gonna keep them hostile. That's why whatever visa I do now with artists, we're doing it in another way with an agent that is basically, they're free to leave whenever they don't want to be here.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, so I don't want them to feel how I felt, you know, even if I am not the people I worked with. I've worked with sketchy people in the past.
Mm-hmm.
I worked with people that were like toxic, they, you know, was taken advantage of and like, you know, robbed and all that. So I want to give them the chance I didn't have. So I opened the studio. Now the name Malaka, it came, 10 years ago it came to my mind.
Oh, really?
I was traveling to conventions and tattoo studios in Europe and, you know, people out of Greece, Bulgarians, Romanians, Russians, British, whoever I worked with, they knew the word, you know.
It's universal for, yeah, of course.
Yeah, like, so when we worked together or when we were out, every time, hey, Malaka, I was not drone. I was Malaka,
right?
You know, and they were Malaka to me. Like, so it was a fun word. It's not like that, like a word.
Yeah.
So
and it's how you say it.
It's how you say it. So if you're in a road rage and you scream at someone the word, it's bad.
Exactly.
But in Greece, it's our second name. Like I might tell you, hey, Malaka, pass me the water.
Exactly.
And I mean, for another community, it might be the N-word. For another community, is like the C-word, cabron.
Yeah.
You know, so for us, it's Malaka. Yeah. And it's not so insulting in my ears. And for Americans, it's not insulting at all because they don't even know the word.
They don't know, yeah.
They kind of have heard it maybe many times, but at the end of the day, when it comes to branding, it was a word and a name that people remember. And I was between different words. I was thinking of it for years.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I spoke with 5-6 different people I know, good businessmen, good friends of mine, and they were like, if you don't do the Malaka tattoo, no one should do it. You know, you have to do it. And there is a legendary tattoo artist, I believe in Greece, and another one in New York, Paul Booth. In Greece, Mike the Athens, I believe. Or I don't remember who exactly was it, but I think that's them. And they had this fun little crew, Malaka crew, you know. Malaka crew. And they had tattoos over their bodies too, Malaka. So to me, you know, it's like something modern to, you know, continue that legacy and
that's awesome.
Have a nice name that has a fun background story. It has nothing to do with insulting anyone.
Exactly.
You know? It's just a good word to remember.
Yeah, and it gets attention too, right?
Uh-huh.
So you start the studio, you have multiple artists, but you're the star there. This is your show, right? Like people come there, you're the show.
I'm the show. I try to not be a boss and an employer or a businessman because it doesn't work out well, you know?
No, but from an artist standpoint, it's your show, right? Like this is your baby. When you're hiring people to come with you, that's got to be tough for you to filter and find the right people.
It is tough, yes.
Right? Like how many no's do you say for one yes? Like how?
100.
100, right.
Yeah. 100.
And have you seen anyone have...
I replied to 7 people today and tell them I'm not interested.
Not interested.
Yeah.
But how many people have done what you did to that guy in Athens? Out of all these years you've been doing that, has anyone had that hunger like you had?
No, man.
Nobody.
Not remotely.
And that's
close.
your benchmark. That's like, I've done something similar in my world, like on the business when I was coming up, and it was like that tenacity, create this presentation, show it all this. And subconsciously, that's my benchmark for when people want to come work here.
I'm not going to hire anyone if that's my benchmark. I'll be honest with you.
See?
No one. Like, I was really hungry.
Yeah.
And I put the work. People that I deal with, most times, all the times, they haven't put the work. They don't love the game as much. They're not passionate about it as much. So if I see that someone is actually reputable, have done the work, like, established artist,
sure.
I am down to work with them. But the industry is tricky. Like, I have a studio that is only 1.5, 2 years old. Okay. Some people are loyal to their studios, even if they have worse deals than us, even if the place is worse than ours, and ours is a big, beautiful, tall, nice studio, bright lights.
It's a beautiful space.
30 feet ceilings. Yeah, I have from many, many studios. Our studio is more beautiful, more open. I am not a boss or an employer. I'm not giving people shit. I help them, I mentor them, I try to push. So in many aspects, we tick more boxes than many studios, but because the industry is based a lot of times on loyalty and the artists, I get where they come from because I am an artist myself. They can't just one day wake up and say, oh, I'm going to leave this studio that I work with 10 years now and I'm going to go withdraw, It takes some time, and that's why I'm patient with the studio, and I keep it as big as it is, even if I don't work still with the artists that I was supposed to make their visas that I never made. So the studio actually opened for a reason that never happened.
Yeah.
So I keep that studio because I call it future-proof. Like, the studio might have 16 chairs right now and 10 are filled, and we are working, but not every day, 24/7, all the chairs. Like, I can definitely put 10, 20 more artists in there, The thing is, because it's my family and it's my house and it's a very, a studio that is operating way differently than most tattoo studios, with me being the supervisor basically and the operator and mentoring people or helping people, doing their ads or trying to push, boundaries. I don't want to put randoms in there. Like, my artists all have keys to my studio.
Okay.
And my studio in there has things worth probably over $100,000. So you understand, if I meet someone and I am comfortable and I am confident in their work, they are not just joining my business and they are not my employee. They come into our family, So it's not only enough for someone to be a good artist.
Right.
For me, you have to be drug-free. I can't deal with drugs anymore and drama.
How do you even test that? Is it drug test? How do you take their word?
I ask them, you can't just be a drug addict or, recover from something and not tell me. I want transparency because we are very no BS, as an industry in general, I think. And people are not hiding it, if someone is an addict or something. And I gave the chance the past year to a couple recovering addicts, and it didn't go well. I was fucked over. Right. And I lost a lot of money. They didn't lose nothing. I lost a lot though, because it's a very give and take thing, and I give a lot to boost and to help. And I'm like, you know what? You spoiled it for the next ones. I am not going to do this again. No policy, Yeah. So no drama, no drugs, and no toxicity in general. Let's try to have something good going on and help each other and grow. And that's how I call it a collective.
Yes.
My artists, they're not employees. I'm not telling them what to do, They are menaces to society like I was, and I am. We're pirates.
Right.
They're more independent, but at the same time, I want to guide them and give them information or guidance that I didn't have. And now with the know-how and the information I have, I know I can help,
Of all the people you have now, the 10 artists, how many of them have been screwed over by another studio before coming to you?
Let's see. I mean, screwed over is again subjective,
Sure.
But I would say maybe a couple. I don't know. Me, no one. But my story is unique. I can be, transparent with you.
Right.
I don't know anyone else that has been through what I've been through. If they really know the story and in depth, not on the podcast now, because there is things I cannot be transparent with on, social media. There is a lot of things that have happened in the past that, I can write a book about right now.
And you need to at some point. You have the following.
Yeah, maybe.
Right?
Maybe
you got to capture that.
Maybe I'll write a book. It's an interesting story.
Right.
I just have to consult a lawyer first.
Yeah, make sure who can I name drop or not, right?
Yeah. And again, my industry is not like cute, and I can't just throw names and say things like that.
Right.
You might just find me in a farm under some tree one day.
No. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. Talk to me about your actual artwork.
Yeah.
Right. So it's described as organized chaos. Is what you've coined it?
In tattooing, I'll be honest, I didn't even choose this term. I was traveling through different countries and I had a client say, I want this organized chaos thing you do. And then another one in USA said, oh yeah, this organized chaos. And someone else. And at some point in 3-4 months, I heard from 7 different countries the same term. And I was like, okay, you're all calling it that. I am going to call it that because I am a little OCD and perfectionist. So organized chaos by drone checks out. It's OCD. So,
okay.
Yeah. And it's through the way that I work, especially on Photoshop, throwing 30 layers. It's very chaotic. A lot of times I chaotize my clients. At the first hour, they're like, I don't know what we're doing. But the second hour that I'm organizing things and I put them in order and I explain them and I educate them on what I'm doing right now, they understand. And they realize that it's like putting a bunch of ingredients on a table and now we're going to stir everything together and cook some mix that it's going to make sense. You're going to like the taste,
But give me an example of it. Like right now, if I came in right now and I'm like, hey, I want to do a sleeve.
Yeah.
Of organized chaos by drone.
Yes.
Like, how do you can't give away your secret sauce, obviously. Be like,
no, I'm very transparent. I even do videos of how I do things. But,
right.
Go do it if you want. But.
And your social, good luck, right? Trying to figure that out. But like, so what do you start? Like, what questions are you asking?
So many people will come with their own ideas or their own theme. For example, I want a Star Wars sleeve because I love Star Wars or Star Trek or you name it. A lot of times I'm going to take out a post-it because I can see and after 14 years of tattooing, I already know if a client is going through something like ADHD, OCD, attention span, like they're all over the place.
Yep.
And I am the leader of the conversation here. I have to guide them and I have to keep the conversation like balanced. And I have to make some sense of what we're going to do and what's best to do. So I like post-its. I'm a post-it guy.
Okay.
I take out post-its and I'm like, tell me, because right now you gave me a folder of 40 photos and you want a small tattoo on your arm. Tell me why we're doing this. Okay, I understand that you want this portrait or this phrase. For example, I'll speak about Jay. Jay is a girl that came for a chest and with a quote from the Matrix door that said something in Latin.
Okay.
And when I asked her what you want, she said, I want this quote on my chest from Matrix. And I answered to her, I was like, this is not enough. What are we doing? Why we're doing this? Tell me, give me the sauce, the tea.
Yes. Yeah.
What's the tea behind it? And,
Who hurt you or what motivated you?
Yes, exactly. And that's again the same story like other people who have been doing the research with tattoo artists and studios and they just sent the same copy-paste message to someone. And I am the one who asks them, but why? Before I give them a quote and I throw a number. And then Jay sent me a message like that long. Her whole life story. And I was like, yes, now we're speaking. Now
what do you get from that?
Now that you are open and vulnerable and you're telling me why we're doing this, what this is supposed to be, as an artist, I can get creative. I can sit down and give you and express your story. Be, as you called me, a storyteller. Because if I don't know the story and I just know 2 words that you want to express the story with, at this point, I'm just a printer. Like I cannot just, you love your wife. if I write Constantina on your arm, it's not going to say much, to be honest, But if we do something that relates with her, or, some storytelling thing, your kids' drawings in abstract shapes or something.
Nordstrom Cafe shopping bag, right?
Yes,
yeah, I got you. Yeah, build.
Yes. So I sit down with clients, we brainstorm, I put these post-its and I ask them why we're doing this. And then I ask, you sent me 20 pictures, I can do 3. What's the priority? What we can scratch from this? Because you have many ideas, but this is not enough to do a solid, good, proportioned tattoo. That's not a word, right? I made it up.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we need a proper size to make something that will have longevity.
Mm-hmm.
So I put priorities on what matters, on what's, what can express what you want to say and express. And I take a photo of their body placement, I put it on Photoshop, we start brainstorming, I give them ideas and I tell them, for example, because I like mixed media and different techniques and paradoxes and surrealism and collage and Dadaism, basically combining everything and creating a neo-expressionistic style. I hope I'm not too confusing right now, but...
No, while you're talking, we're going to put up photos and images, but it's, for the way I perceive what you do, it's various themes, messages layered. Right.
Yes.
So when I look at it, I'm like, how did he tattoo that? I understand in Photoshop, you can literally just layer stuff.
Yeah.
But like, how do you start and there's a dog, but then it's on top of this grid and then it's on this?
Yeah.
Like, where do you even start with the tattoo? Right. Is that basically?
It's tricky. Yeah, it's tricky. So I combine illustration or realism or graphic design and geometry and abstraction and all that. But as a result, it gives a mixed media painting vibe.
Yeah.
There is no mixed media though. The media is one, it's ink, so we cannot call it mixed media. That's the reason I have named it organized chaos, what I do with my style and my vibe. Now, there are people out there that if you Google organized chaos tattoo, you might see the same thing I do from someone else. And I don't think that's, organized chaos. This is the name I have given.
You coined that term.
This is the name I gave to my project.
Yeah.
This is my little baby. And I named this thing that. Now, it's not for you to take and say, I do organized chaos style. That's me. I'm saying my story right now. I'm doing realism because I was with this guy in Greece, and I do geometric because I was with these guys, and I do colors and graffiti tags because I come from graffiti. And I give a mixed media collage vibe because I am a fine artist and an academic. So this is my story. This is my way of expressing myself. You cannot just take it and call it whatever you want to call it.
No.
You're doing me at this point. You're doing something that someone will see and say, okay, this is basically drawn, And there is another style / project from a couple people in Germany, very famous because they advertised a lot back in the day on Facebook, called Trash Polka. Many people
Trash polka.
Trash Polka, yes.
Okay.
Many like the music.
Yeah.
And no, I'm sorry.
Polka dancing, or like polka, trash polka.
Yes, many people think that it comes from polka dots or trash, like trash. It's anyway, this is their concept name for what they do. And because what they do, they happen to also be fine artists and do mixed techniques, again, combining some high exposure realism with abstract or geometry. A lot of times because they have advertised it so well in the past and they have done great marketing, because it's different than what you are considering a tattoo. It's looking like a painting.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes what I do, people say, oh, you do that. And I'm like, no, I don't.
Okay.
We have a big difference in the way that we are creating our things. A lot of times this looks way more aggressive, or it's only black and red. I create many colors. They never used colors. Or we have way different vibe. And I know that they know we're thinking the same way.
Right.
And many times people will do exactly what they do and call it that too. They say, oh, I do trash polka. You don't. This is their project. This is their idea, their way of doing it. You're not supposed to copy someone. Like I do the same podcast and I say I do Invigorate Your Business podcast. It's like
yes.
You should just experiment, find your own way, find your own, way of expressing yourself. Yeah. And in the industry in general, I was one of the first modern tattoo artists that did the tattoos more creatively and out of the box than the traditional or the Japanese or the geometric or the realistic. And I believe that I know in person, personally, every single person of these other 10 people who did it, you know, in their own way as well, we all know each other. We all speak with each other for over 10 years now, you know.
It's a community, right?
Exactly, yeah. So, and we respect each other. And for the clients, that's a different story. For the Reddit communities, for Facebook communities, this is so big now and everyone has an opinion and, you know, it's very oversaturated. So you get lost in that.
Even the organized chaos that people try to imitate, is that becoming saturated now as well?
I haven't done a great advertising on pushing it too much to people, but, you know, yeah, I think I don't get offended when I see similar tattoos like mine. But I believe that people forgot that this is what I did or Xoil did or these guys Buena Vista, the Traspolka guys did, or Jeff Palumbo did, another guy from Belgium who is the father of modern tattoos. This is a ways that we expressed ourselves over 10 years, 13 years, 14 years ago, and we experimented. We got a lot of backlash, how you call it, for it. We walked so others can run, and a lot of times it's good to be self-aware of what you do, because many people think and they promote themselves as unique, or that's my project. I don't think it's your project. You know, other people have done it 10 years before you start tattooing.
Right, right.
I understand, I appreciate, I see if it's done properly, I like it. Just don't misinform others and call it something it's not, you know, or don't promote this as it's your own thing and project. Because at the end of the day, art is a form of expression, and everyone should have their own voice in my mind, you know, especially established artists. And many people will have a beautiful voice, but it's the voice of someone else. So I know people who do very beautiful tattoos, but when I see that tattoo, I already know whose project they are doing, whose style they are doing, with whose voice they are speaking, you know what I mean?
Gotcha. They are just a printer at that point.
Yes, not a printer. The way it looks, you can be, if you're not into the game, if you're not passionate and you don't have all the information, you have done art history or like tattoo history, you know the facts or who did what, you might see the tattoo and think, wow, that's unique, because you don't know better.
Sure.
But I might see it and think, wow, this is John.
Okay,
but
gotcha.
You did it. You're continuing his legacy. Of course, it's a compliment. But what's a little off, and not many people speak about it, it's unpopular opinion right now, is that this is not yours. What you're doing, beautiful, but it's not really yours. Don't claim it, because this is, for example, Jeff, or this is Xoil, or this is Buena Vista, or this is me, or this is, you know, someone who do that for a long time. And they walked so you can run, and you have to honor and respect your elders.
Is there still room for innovation in this industry?
Of course, yes.
Like coming up with new types of tattooing and everything?
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you are a believer, yeah. Because if you're not a believer, you might think in the way of everything is done and there is nothing more to be done. And how can you be so sure that everything has happened when 50 years ago we thought the same and then we had new shit?
Sure.
When 500 years ago in the Renaissance times they thought that's it, nothing can, like, if you're not a believer, you will never be innovative and, you know, crazy enough to experiment.
Right.
But I feel like, for example, Picasso, one of the fathers of modern art, when he did what he did, people thought he's crazy. Because Picasso, when he was 14, he did hyper-realistic academic drawing things. 14 years old, he was that big talent. And then a few years later, he was this insane, crazy guy in the community doing sketches and little minimal lines. And everyone thought, he must have lost it.
Right.
But they were not at his level. They were not crazy enough and visionaries like he was to look further than the idea of I have to please everyone else and I have to do this again and again and again and repeat myself 100 times to first benefit from it and make money, to get status and fame. And I am doing this because I'm passionate and I want to experiment and I know the way that I can create something and not reproduce something.
Right.
So he did things differently. He was part of Cubism. maybe the father of Cubism, a movement, an art movement. There is no bigger compliment for an artist, I believe, than creating a whole art movement, like pop art.
Are you kidding me? Yes.
Yeah, like it's Picasso. Many people don't know he was part of the Bauhaus community. Bauhaus basically took a big step into evolving and fine-tuning and changing the way we live. We might be sitting on Bauhaus chairs right now, This was like not the same before Bauhaus or before artists. Artists in general throughout the times have shaped the way we live.
Right.
The way these bulbs look like, because they are art deco, or they are like a mandala from pop art, or the way your wall is looking like might be art deco, minimalism, pop art. People don't understand it,
but it influences and affects the way we live and function. And
So if you're not into it, and you don't understand the importance of art in the world, and you don't see it, you don't have the filter to actually see that things around us are the way they are, and they look the way they are, and we wear them, we live them around us. Like
exactly.
Your light has polka dots right now. This is pop art, Liechtenstein and Andy Warhol. They can't appreciate it. And me as a tattoo artist, a lot of times when I have a client who is not informed and educated, I feel the need to tell them that, hey, you know what? I know you think I'm crazy and you like this realistic tattoo and you want me to do realistic, but the reason I am doing these brush strokes or these splashes and this and that is to actually include something paradox and something opposite, because the opposites attract each other, and the contrast between different elements or art movements will give you something that doesn't even compete with a plain common black and gray realism tattoo that you can get in every other place in LA.
Dude, you're an artist. Like the way your mind is working. I want to go back to the girl that got the tattoo here, because I want to ask a quick bathroom break. Quick bathroom break.
Please.
Yes.
I wanted to tell you, I'm about to explode.
No. You go. Quick bathroom break.
Do you see me getting white or red?
I want to make sure.
Bro, I'm going to explode.
Yeah, go. Look, you've been awesome with the time. A couple more things. I want to talk about one thing. So the lady that ended up getting the tattoo in Latin, after you analyze it, what was the finished result? What elements do you add back in?
We haven't finished yet. It's a matrix thing. Then we included Braille, the blind people's language, and with some Easter eggs from her, personal, sentimental value things. I think I have a better example. The tattoo I did like literally 3 days ago.
Okay.
It's just sent me a photo of that she left a review, 5 stars for me, and her wife actually sent me a message like this, and she was like, man, we're so happy and grateful she found you, and I can read it if you want.
It's amazing.
What I did though is an example of people are not crazy for getting what I suggest them to get many times, even if they do things that they didn't even know existed 5 minutes before that. So can I open it? Can I
please.
Show you? So there is this lady that I'm not going to say names or anything, but she went to a tattoo studio in the city and she got a bad tattoo and she spent thousands of dollars, okay? And she went again back to fix it from a guest artist, high-end studio, high-end artist, whatever. It was a scam. They basically did a very bad tattoo. It was this. And now I have even edited this photo a little. That's the first tattoo she got. And she spent thousands of dollars for this small tattoo. And she came and she was like, man, save me. I am a big part of my business is cover-ups and repairs because I like to save people and pieces from other than them going to laser remove them and spend $3,000 to remove them and get hurt for months and burn their skin.
Yep.
I did that and we fixed it like this. If you want to do B-roll, I can send it to you.
Oh, yeah.
So I added the Pablo Picasso dove. It's the dove of peace.
That's crazy.
Some hexagons in blue. And here we added a rat from Black Le Rat. Black Le Rat is the father of street art. This lady didn't know Black Le Rat. She knew Banksy, that he's 2-3 generations after Black, and he was inspired by Black, and he did rats and stencils on the walls.
Okay.
But who started it was Black. Black is the father. He basically started street art. He was crazy enough to go out in the streets and do stencils of rats. And this is a rat holding a spray can.
Oh,
she didn't even know about black. But when I told her the story and I explained to her, hey, this is the father of street art, she was like, okay, that's solid. We can do that, because the guy is basically spray painting the whole thing.
So she had an open mind to go.
Yeah. So,
jeez.
And here, this is the basically calligraphy signature of Chaz. Chaz Bohorges is the father of graffiti. When Chaz started doing graffiti, here in Los Angeles, Black is from France, I believe. Chaz is from LA. And LA was full of gangs and gang wars. And like on the walls, you would only see different names of gangs. There's no graffiti. Now we're speaking 60s or 70s. And he was going on the walls and he was doing calligraphy or some skull with sombrero, like, Chicano style. And it was more artistic and it was more creative and expressive. And graffiti didn't exist. Chaz is one of the fathers, if not the first, one of the first to ever do that. So she got his name. This is not his name really. It's like his signature. But if you see it from a distance, this is like some abstract element. Then I created a little sun ray of, minimal lines around the heart that I redid. And I included that braille that I don't remember what it says, but it's from a song that she loves. I think it says "Suffer More." I don't know the song, but it's braille. It's for her. It's not for others.
So many elements to that.
And then splashes to make it look like a painting and polka dots as a reference to, pop art. The thing is, this lady now don't only have just a tattoo, it's like a mixed media style of different elements and a part of history. I did the father of Cubism and like modern art, Picasso and Black for street art and Chaz for graffiti. I don't know what else I could do to a lady that didn't have a clue of these people before she came in the studio.
And now it's a conversation piece too.
It is a conversation piece, and like people that don't even know what this is, and they see someone's name and a rat. Can you imagine if I told you I'm going to do a rat on your chest?
Yeah, not appealing.
Someone's name and a dove, you would be like, are you crazy?
Right.
But there is a story behind it, and if someone is open-minded, sometimes we can do things that are more sentimental and have value that goes beyond what you see, So
that's incredible. Well, we're going to put that up.
Sure.
Talk to me advice, like last part, and then like where people get in contact. Like there's artists out there, the 15-year-old you who's trying to figure it out. They're doing something right now that they don't love, but they know their passion is this. Like what advice are you giving a 15-year-old drone today?
A 15-year-old drone today, I needed someone to tell me keep going, to be honest. And I didn't have that someone to tell me keep going. But the advice I would give to people is to experiment and find something they love and to date before they're married. And I'm not speaking about girls or boys right now. I'm speaking about their life. Mm-hmm. So if you marry what you do and you're not sure about it, you're uncertain and you haven't experimented with different things, how do you know that you're not missing out on a talent that you have or some love and passion you have about something? Like experiment, be open-minded, because I see people that are 50 years old and they regret, they regret not experimenting, not trying things out when they had time. And by having time, I mean, you can even be 40 and do that, To me, that never ends.
Absolutely.
Like an artist never retires. I don't know if you saw my story today.
Yep.
Experiment. Try out new things. Do not marry before you even date. Like, it's not healthy. And if you're so sure, like I was about tattooing, and you see it, you love it, you're happy with it, you're content, sure, maybe it's your calling, But it's not the case so many times.
Right.
So and the fact that you are young, and many people might tell you, you have time, you can do it later. Oh, that's a myth. You might have time, but you have as much time as you don't have.
Absolutely.
Like, it's the time to put the work. It's not the time to take vacation. It's not the time to slack. It's not the time to take your days off. It's the time to work 24/7. And in Greek we say, "Na στρώσεις εκεί που θα κοιμηθείς," prepare your bed where you're gonna sleep. So I would say, find something you love. Obviously, I know cringe and cliché, but find something you love and let it kill you, because what are you doing?
Yeah.
Not everything is money. Money can buy happiness, but it's not really going to make you feel content. And It's not going to support your dreams or a potential family you want to have and all that. Like something that you love, something that you have experimented with different things and you have settled to that is going to probably outlive everything else, and it's going to have longevity in your life, and you're going to be passionate enough to put the extra work that no one else is going to do it, because you have to be crazy.
Exactly.
So much work, and the 10,000 hours that people say you have to reach to be a master at something, you will not do that by being motivated by money. Money is nothing. Like, it's
absolutely,
you know, it's gonna come. Sure, it is something. I'm not rich, because rich people say that a lot, you know, money don't buy happiness and all that.
Yeah.
I don't have much money, but it's not the motivating factor that should move the world, that is doing it now with social media, with the way the world is, you know. And I would say just, be honest, and with yourself as well, and be humble. And work hard, because I don't know, I feel that the more I grow up and I become grumpy, I feel the work ethic in the world and the standards of work ethic and what we are supposed to offer for what we get gets lower. You know, the bar is lowering every year and generation, you know. So
yeah, I see that as well.
Yeah. I don't know if it's me being grumpy now, you know, but
maybe, or could it be expectations increase the older you get as well? Yeah. And there's a disconnect, but I see that as well.
Yeah.
Right?
Like the information is out there. It only has to get easier for the next generations, because people like me, or even before me, they didn't have the information that people have here now.
Right.
They didn't have the chances. Now you can just buy a machine like that, or you can go online on YouTube, you can learn everything.
Yes.
And I think it's a blessing and a curse at the same time, because you have so much information. The younger generations are overwhelmed with everything, you know, available, and they're like, what am I supposed to do? And life is fast, and COVID hit, and now this, and you know, like, it's stressful, you know, but breathe, and one step at a time.
How responsive? No, but you're right. But how responsive? Like, so best way to get in contact with you for clients, and the separate part is like, do you make yourself available for mentor? I know time is money, and you're a busy guy. But when you see potential in someone, do you mentor them? Are you open to that?
Man, I'll be honest. As an apprentice, if we're speaking about that now, to be taking over someone full time, mentoring them, no, I don't, because I like my previous person who tried to be my mentor, he was not available, but then I proved it to him, you know, and I claimed it, I earned it. You cannot just demand that, because you're asking someone to give you the knowledge and the know-how, and to make a 6-figure passion job, hobby, art form, to teach you that, and to get a shortcut of a decade or two, and basically give you a college tuition worth $300,000 and a safe job and security, because they're probably going to hire you for free. So I think I can't do it until someone proves me that they deserve it. You know what I mean? Because I know what I can offer. I know what I bring to the table. I know I can take someone from zero and take him to hero, you know, make him a diamond. But this is not a one-way street. It's like, it can't be a one-sided relationship. There is no one will just take that blessing and, you know, everything is going to change for them. They have to put the work, and many people don't want to do it. And I'm like, frankly, I am not available just because of that. But if there is a chance that someone has put the work, is passionate enough, they want to do it, and they believe in it, and they can afford it, because for some time you might not be able to make money. You have to work a job. You have to put the extra, you know, effort. Sure, I'm available. Now, to reach me out, I answer to literally all my DMs still. I have a lot, and I still answer to every single one.
Good for you, man.
Even if it's a hateful one, I'll say, thank you very much. Love you. Have a good day.
Right.
But yeah, I answer to all the DMs.
Do most of the clients that want to get in contact with you go through Instagram?
It's more convenient and comfortable. Some contact me on Instagram, some contact me on TikTok, some message me, email me on my email that I believe is attached to my profile. Some others customers go through our jot form, the booking form we have for the studio. And some others just call the studio or text the studio number, which is on our page, Malaka Tattoo.
Malaka Tattoo. And then Supreme Drone is your handle?
Supreme Drone, like the brand and like the helicopters.
Like the
brand. Make it easier.
Exactly. And we'll put that all up there. But dude, this was a great conversation.
Thank you, man.
First,
for me too.
Tattoo artist, like someone on your level.
Thank you.
I think we learned a lot. And the takeaway for me today is just go and get your success. Like you chased it, you got it.
Yes, I'm still chasing it.
You're still chasing it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Incredible story, man.
Thank you.
I love seeing that.
I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, brother.
Thank you, George.
Awesome. Thanks for listening to this episode of Invigorate Your Business with George Stroumboulis. Please hit the subscribe and like buttons and follow me on all the main podcast streaming channels. Also, please share your comments when you can. I appreciate your help in expanding this network to a worldwide audience. Until next time, stay invigorated.